The stakes greater, tensions are high, the lights brighter. Turn on Friday night. Tonight, it's Franklin-Simpson at Warren East. It's the Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week. Also brought to you by the Blowout Co., Edmonton State Bank, NCTC powered by Warren RECC, Aqualand Pool and Spa, Toyota of Bowling Green, Morgantown Bank and Trust, and Will Coker, your State Farm agent in Bowling Green. Let's go! Friday Night Lights. Franklin-Simpson at Warren East on the Seven Mountains Sports Network. Now, down to the field with Ryan Murphy and Big Hamp.
Well, it's a beautiful night here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and as you can see, we've got 4A matchups here this afternoon. Franklin-Simpson taking the short trip up I-65 to Warren East High School as they open district play this week on the Seven Mountains Sports Network. We welcome you into the booth. If you see that field of blue behind us, no, Hamp and I are not on a cruise. We are at the Smurf Turf here at Jim Ross Field at Warren East High School. And Hamp, what an exciting time it is as we open district play here in South Central Kentucky.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely wonderful, and no better way to start it at the Smurf Turf. Like you said, we're not on the sea, but you do get a little sick because it does look like it's moving out there. That blue turf is absolutely amazing.
Now, I was going to say, Hamp, we talked a little bit about how this program has evolved over the last couple of seasons. You've seen it yourself. You played on this field, and it looked, it wasn't as blue, I don't think, when you played on it.
When I played on it, the grass was about ankle high. It was filled everywhere. It was absolutely amazing. As I was telling you, it was dark all the way around, so there was no lights. All that across the street was not there. Absolutely wonderful time, though. It's always scary, but a wonderful time.
Now, both these teams, obviously, are a little different. We've got one team that is very much more of the air raid style that we're accustomed to seeing here around the area. We saw that with Warren Central last week. But then you also have Franklin-Simpson coming in. They are all about the run game.
Oh, yeah. Franklin-Simpson loves to run the ball and loves to pound it. Coach Cheney is one of the best that I've seen do it. I've talked to him before. I've watched how he's coached up his teams. And, man, he's absolutely wonderful.
Now, though it's a beautiful night for football, the South Central Kentucky community is mourning one of our own. Skylar Oldham, a member of the Hart County Raider football team and cheerleading squad, passed away earlier this week. Skylar was a beloved son, a brother, a teammate, and a light to all who knew him. Our condolences and our prayers go out to Skylar's family, his friends, and his teammates. We will now take a moment of silence to honor his memory.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated, and from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Well, we welcome you back here into the broadcast booth for our countdown to kickoff show as the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats took a short trip up the road here to Jim Ross Field as they'll open district play in 4A against the Warren East Raiders, and a lot of maybe varying storylines.
At this time, will everyone please stand, remove your caps, as we honor our nation with the playing of the national anthem by the Warren East High School Band. Presenting the colors tonight is the Warren East High School Air Force JROTC Color Guard. Commanding tonight's color guard and carrying the United States flag is Cadet Akari.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
I want to buy this truck, man. This is perfect.
It is a beautiful truck. Do you want to see the inside?
Is it available?
Yeah, sure is.
Is it available?
I just said it was.
Hey, how many miles has it got on it?
Just over 30,000 miles. Still practically new.
But it's got rain on it.
What? Do you want to see the inside? Do you have any questions?
No. I have to think about it. Also, it has rain on it.
Selling your car shouldn't be a pain. Bring your vehicle out to Toyota Bowling Green and we'll make sure you get taken care of.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait. The dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
Great rendition of our nation's anthem performed by Warren East High School band, the color guard from Warren East High School now exiting the field. And as they do so, we stand with them. Solidarity of our nation's colors.
Thank you. To do with those celebrations. As I was saying, welcome in, everybody.
Styles, offensively at least, that could not be any more different.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting to see what's really going to go down here tonight. You got a big physical team with Franklin-Simpson and Warren East, man. They can hold their own if they just believe in themselves. I know they had a lot of things going on off the field. If they could just, focus on what's going on, I think they'll be all right.
Now, we saw them out warming up just a little bit ago, and you'll see some footage of that later. But so far, at least when we saw the Raiders, they looked calm, composed, just like it was any other Friday night. And some of that big news, Hamp, that you referred to, of course, happens to be with head coach Tanner Hall, who unfortunately announced his departure from the program. He will no longer be head coach. As far as we know, the current interim head coach will be Grover Moore, who was the quarterback coach for Warren East. But so far, these boys just showing up like it's a typical Friday night. And the start of district play, you got to have that mindset. As we take a look at both these teams, let's take a look at their team comparisons going into tonight's matchup. Franklin-Simpson and the Raiders could not have had also more stark starts to their season. The Wildcats 3-2, the Raiders 1-4, but the offensive stats in particular hamper what stick out to me the most, because the Wildcats actually average 20 total offensive yards less than Warren East has all season, and yet their records, you wouldn't think, reflect that.
Wow.
And I think it just simply comes down to the fact of how they move the football.
Oh, yeah. Definitely how they move the football. Both of them move it differently, but almost the same, because both of them love to run the ball. Both of them love to try to shove it down your throat and keep the defenses on the field as long as they can, which is a great thing, because if you can wear down those tough defense like Franklin-Simpson, you're doing some great things.
And the thing with this Franklin-Simpson team, running a 3-back system like they do, this is kind of a Max Chaney signature. It's something they've found success in over the last couple of years. They've made some pushes into the postseason, and this year they've got some strong returners, and one of those is Blake McPherson, who, as a senior running back, has put up such huge numbers in that slot, over 500 yards this year, already almost to those 10 touchdowns, and last week had himself a decent performance, 13 rushes for 79 yards. Also, he plays on the defensive side of the ball, had himself 9 tackles plus an interception, so a good performance from Blake McPherson. You can see him there on your screen if you're watching our live stream, warming up before tonight's game. He's a guy for this Wildcats team that you're going to see a lot of on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Over on the defensive side of the ball, you got them playing safety. You got a number of guys that are playing both sides of the ball on both teams, which is absolutely what you need sometimes. You put the best players in.
And also, when you flip over to Warren East, this is the guy who's kind of stepped onto the scene in place of a big role. Xavier Isabel, the sophomore quarterback, has put up big numbers, but coming with those big numbers has kind of come a lot of big plays, but big mistakes have also followed that. He's got a huge touchdown record so far this season. Last week, they had a loss, unfortunately, against Callaway County, 27-47, his completion percentage. He, more often than not, throws for at least 45 attempts a game. And that is not necessarily something you always see at the high school level. He's completing about 50 to 60% of those, so he's pretty solid in that regard. Threw for over 300 yards last weekend. He's already at 1,000 yards here through the midway point of the season.
Man, we're at 4 weeks. 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards. That's absolutely insane. That's what you call a good quarterback right there. And if they get him going and get him started, and the wide receivers do their jobs, it's going to be a long night.
That's the thing for them, too. They've had a lot of players that they could really rely on in that receiver room. Braden Lightfoot is one they're going to have to rely on tonight. But as we get started here with about 3 minutes to go to kickoff and coin toss on the way, we took a look at your starting lineups for the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats. We take a look first at their offense. At quarterback, it's going to be the senior, number 10. That's Brady Delk. And at running back in the start of this 3-back system, it's number 6. He's our player to watch for tonight. We just talked about him. That's Blake McPherson, the senior. Alongside him in that back slot, number 24, that's Xavier Hampton, the junior running back who's found himself in an elevated role this season. And rounding out their 3 backs, it's number 30 is Aiden Jones in their starting lineup. That wide receiver will be number 2, the junior. That's Brody Perry. Also lining up in the slot, that'll be number 20 of Caden Bennett, the senior receiver, starting on this offense. As we look to the offensive line, at left tackle it'll be number 55. That's Donovan Dudley, the sophomore. A lot of youth on this offensive line as well. At left guard it'll be number 53. That's Jacob Spears, the junior. And at center, it'll be number 62, the sophomore, a young gun under center. That's Carter Grimes, number 62. Look for him to maybe have an impact here tonight. At right guard, it'll be number 50. That's Jackson Crafton, the senior. And again, rounding out this younger offensive line, at right tackle, it'll be number 78, John Parker Cheney. And the coin toss currently going on there at midfield. That's Ian Lewis down at midfield as you just see the coin toss go up. And it looks like Warren East won the coin toss. Warren East has won the coin toss, and they have chosen to defer to the second half, so that means Franklin-Simpson will get their shot on offense to start this game.
Tell you what, it's going to be a good one. Letting them start it off, that means you trust your defense.
I was going to say, if you're Warren East and you know how explosive your offense can be, it feels more like you're giving yourself a chance maybe in that second half to come out swinging.
Oh, yeah. That defense is going to have to step up and be in there and take charge today and keep the Raiders' offense where they can do what they do.
And as we continue with these starting lineups for Franklin-Simpson on the defensive line, they run a 3-4-4 system on the defensive line. That's number 30, the junior. The the Wildcats. On the defensive line, number 50, it's Jackson Crafton, who's also starting on the offensive line for the Wildcats. He's a senior. He'll be starting at right guard as well. Rounding up their defensive line, that's number 54, D.T. Garrett, the junior, rounding up that defensive line. And then the big group here for this defense, the linebackers, number 83, Jamarius Franklin, the senior. Alongside him, number 33, Gene Velasco, that sophomore. Also a linebacker will be number 20, Caden Bennett, the senior, who will be starting also a wide receiver on the offense. Also for linebacker, it'll be number 5, Payson Himshoot, the junior, starting and rounding out that linebacker group. And in the secondary, number 3, it'll be Skylar Rickman, the junior, and a whole lot of returners who are also starting on the offense. Rounds out the secondary, number 24, Xavier Hampton, who's also starting at running back for the Wildcats. And out in the safety, the quarterback is in the secondary. That's Brady Delk, who will be starting out there in the secondary for the defense of Franklin-Simpson. And rounding out the starting defense will be Blake McPherson, our player to watch. He's strong on both sides of the ball. Franklin-Simpson will have the offense to start this game, and they have Warren East won the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half, so Franklin-Simpson will be the ones to get their offense on the field first. A strong run game in the three-back system for the Wildcats. They'll be the first ones we get the chance to see going into tonight. Both teams making their way out onto the field. Camp, district play is here. This is when it matters the most.
This is when it matters the most right here. You have to get as many wins as possible. But you can still win the district.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Do you want me to get the punt?
Still go on and move forward into the playoffs.
Or are you not getting signal?
No, get play is
like
okay.
This is when the season officially starts.
On the return for Warren East, we should see Diego Monier and Zarius Douglas when they get their hands on the football this time around. But for Franklin-Simpson, we'll see Brody Perry, Xavier Hampton in that regard. They're going to be lined up about the 15-yard line as Warren East will kick this one away. When we get you a moment in the break in the offense, we'll give you those Warren East starting lineups as well. But for now, we are already getting things underway. Warren East on that delayed kickoff. It's going to land at about the 20, scooped up there by 24 for the Wildcats. Making his way past the 30 to the 34, and that's where he's brought down. Wildcats will start their first drive and the first drive of this game in general from there.
24 for Franklin-Simpson on the return.
Xavier Hampton on the return to start this game. Gets him to the 34-yard line. And we'll get our first chance, at least for us, Hamp, this season, in person to see this Franklin-Simpson Wildcat offense in action.
Oh, man, I'm so excited to see them. Because, again, like I said, Coach Chaney knows what he's doing out there, man. And his offenses are always exciting.
It's a strong three-back system that Max Chaney has folded to for most of his 6 seasons down in Simpson County. And they'll run that here. Here's the snap under center from Delk, and then the handoff will get him up to the 40. It'll be a gain of about 6 on the play.
The Warren East Raiders are already stacking the lines and coming in as quickly as possible. They are blitzing already.
Be a gain of 7 on that play to open up the offense for Franklin-Simpson. And they'll break out of the huddle. You'll get used to seeing Brady Delk lining up here under center. It's movement from McPherson in the backfield. Wildcats taking their time. Here's a snap. Handoff to Hampton. Hampton shakes the defender, shakes 2 linebackers, and now makes a break for the sideline. He's got space, plenty of room to breathe. Down to the 30, 20. He's forced out of bounds. Looks like he stepped out of bounds at about the 29-yard line in Raiders territory.
Tell you what, number 12, if he wasn't there to grab a hold of him and push him out of bounds, he'd have been gone.
Big run to open up things here. Almost 40 yards for Hampton on that run. As now we got about 11 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. 2 plays is all it's taken to get the Wildcats within 10 yards of the red zone. Delk lining up under center. Here's the snap. Immediate handoff here. They shove it up the gut. Decent gain there of about 5. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, this East defense is already stacking the lineup, going in at blitzing, trying to stop that run game that they know Franklin-Simpson is known for.
That was Aiden Jones on the 5-yard gain for the Wildcats. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. 3 straight run plays to open things up, and they've put themselves in a great position. Hands off here to McPherson. Tries to move his way around, but gets knocked down quickly. That's Sam Tunks on the tackle. Trips up McPherson just after he breaches through the backfield. No gain on that play will bring up 3rd and 5.
Tunks has been in on 2 of them already. Back-to-back tackles.
10 minutes to go now here in this opening quarter. Again, no gain on that play. For Blake McPherson, who was our player to watch, you have to imagine this linebacker group has been watching a lot of film on him coming into tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a snap from Delk. First time he's not lined up under center, and he's going to hold on to it for a QB keeper, get past the 20-yard marker, and the first down. That'll be a first blowout co-first down, or second blowout co-first down of the game here for the Wildcats. And that will shift the chains as now they breach into the red zone for the first time tonight. So a solid 6-yard gain there for Warren East, for Franklin-Simpson, as they're now in the red zone for the first time. Delk lining up under center on 1st and 10. Here's a snap. Hand off to Jones. Jones takes it right up the middle. He'll breach the 10-yard line, takes a swarm of Raiders to bring him down. He'll be just shy of the first down, gain of 7.
The corners were back a little bit on that play right there, but the line and the linebackers, everybody's stacking the box, man, trying to get in there and stop this run game. But it's like no matter what they're doing right now, they can't stop it.
And as we look at this array of runs, this barrage that Franklin-Simpson has put on here to start this game, only one player has seen multiple touches of the ball tonight so far, and that's Aiden Jones, at least in this opening drive. There's some movement here, and the flag's going to be thrown early. It looks like it'll be a false start on Franklin-Simpson. I think that was John Parker Cheney who jumped the gun.
Jumped on it real fast. He got the moving. As I always say, you have the ball. You know the count. Your offensive line. You're supposed to stay.
Almost effortless opening drive for the Wildcats. Gets slowed down slightly here in the red zone as they get that 5-yard penalty. It'll now be 2nd and 9 on the way for Franklin-Simpson. Brady Delk, quarterback, lined up under center. They'll hand it off with a little reverse sweep. Hand off to Hampton. Hampton's got space down the right side. Into the end zone. Touchdown.
Number 24 with the carry. Touchdown.
That's where they tricked them right there. They had everybody, again, lined right in there trying to go in and stop that run, but they faked them out with that one.
Less than 4 minutes to get a touchdown, and the first one on the board is number 24. Xavier Hampton strikes first with an 11-yard run to the end zone, as now the Wildcats will look to put the extra point up on the board. First Edmonton State Bank touchdown of the night is Xavier Hampton, the junior running back, as now the Wildcats will look to put this one away, but a flag's thrown.
Looked like it might have been the Raiders on that one. Yep.
That one will be on the Raiders. Offsides on Warren East with 8:26 left to go here in this first quarter. Brody McAllister here to take this PAT for the Wildcats. That will put them up 7-0 should he complete it.
Now, if memory serves me correctly, Warren East had trouble with penalties the last time we watched them play.
Last time we did, yes, and it looks like it may come back to bite him here. Here's McAllister. That one's up through the uprights, and it is good. 7-0 lead for Franklin-Simpson on what felt like an effortless opening drive with 8:26 to go in this first quarter. It's all Wildcats 7-0 after that opening drive. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll see if the Raiders have a chance to respond here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated, and from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Well, it took 7 plays and 66 yards to get it done for the Wildcats here to open up their drive. They It was Warren East who won the coin toss, and they deferred to the second half. Franklin-Simpson decided to go ahead and take it on to the house in their opening drive as they now lead 7-0 with 8:26 left to go in the first quarter. Warren East back to receive. A little slip up there on the return, but back go the Raiders. Back to the 30. Plenty of space to breathe. Now to the 40. 45. 50. Finally gets some Wildcats on him, but has already breached into Franklin-Simpson territory. What a return for Warren East. That was Azarius Douglas.
Hey, I tell you what, he almost broke that one. He almost broke it, but he had number 9 right there on him to hold him and wait for the cavalry.
Douglas puts Warren East in prime field position for their first drive of the game, as you see it here, courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green on this replay. What a strong run. It took a lot of Wildcats to chase him all the way down to midfield before they finally brought him down, but now we get to see this Warren East offense's chance to respond. Here's the snap. Isabel off the screen. That one's caught by Lee. He'll head his way off to the right side, breaks one tackle, is already past the 30. Blowout first down on their first offensive snap of the game.
The Raiders are not playing right now. The Franklin-Simpson defense got to play a little tougher than that and probably do what they did and stack the box a little bit or slide to the side.
19 yards the gain there for Jeremiah Lee, who also slots in at running back. Here's the snap. They're going to hand it off directly to Lee this time around, who takes it himself, comes up just shy of that first down. Looks like a gain of 9. So back-to-back plays for number 8. First, a 19-yard reception from Xavier Isabel, and then a 9-yard run. Sets them up nicely here just outside of the red zone with a chance for another first down. 7:40 now left in this first quarter. Isabel lined up in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Lee alongside his right hip. Dropping back, throws it off to his left side. That one's brought in. Now driving inside the red zone and brought down is Jaden Ritchie.
Ooh, man, he caught him. They caught the defense in the zone right there and had a whole middle of the or side of the field that was wide open. A nice pocket. Good pass by Isabel.
Looks like this will now bring up 1st and 10, just shy of a 1st and goal, but well inside the red zone for Warren East, who have already wasted no time in trying to respond to this Wildcats team. And something we thought we might see is this might be a shootout, but for different kinds of offenses here. Here's the snap. Isabel moving off to his right side, fires away. That one's caught by Lee, who gets forced out of bounds. Not Lee, that was actually Braden Lightfoot on the reception. Gets him to about the 4-yard line.
Caught the defense a little far back that time. The defense was a little lax on that one right there. I thought they should have played a little close, kind of play man-to-man and keep everybody in front of them.
So Warren East already with just 4 plays on this drive, already with a chance to score. Isabel surveying, plenty of time in the pocket. He's got space on the left side with the receiver, fires it up to the corner. It's caught by Lee. Touchdown, Warren East.
Wow. Caught him, relaxed again. In that zone coverage, they're leaving that pocket. There's certain pockets that they're leaving out there, and when they left it out there on the left side of the field, man, he tossed it right up where only he could catch it.
Isabel had plenty of time to make that play, and when he saw Lee off in the corner of the end zone, he just lobbed it right up to him. You can see it here courtesy on this replay of Toyota Bowling Green, as now the Raiders are looking to go for 2, possibly. Nope, they're going to go ahead and take that PAT, but Isabel actually out there on the hold, it looks like.
I thought they were going.
On the way is the PAT for Warren East. That one's up, and it is good. No doubter there for the Raiders as they now tie things up 7-7 with 6:52 to go in this first quarter. Hamp, I think we got ourselves a football game.
I think we got a good one going. I think we got one cooking that a lot of people didn't think was going to happen.
A lot of people maybe doubted this Warren East squad, a 1-4 record. You've been in the headlines a little bit this last week. That's a tough thing if you're a young group like this, but they're wasting no time. They look just as fresh as ever and ready to prove maybe a couple teams wrong here in district play over the next couple weeks.
Oh, yeah, and they could very well do it, man. The way that Coach Moore has them going down the field right there, it was absolutely beautiful. A few run plays and then put it over the top a couple of times, get in the end zone.
Wildcats, I have no doubt we'll see a chance to respond, but you see just how much quicker Warren East was able to do that. They ran less than 2 minutes off the game clock, whereas the Wildcats ran almost a full 4 in their opening drive. It just shows you the difference in their play styles.
Oh, yeah, and as we know, the Raiders' defense is not that bad. They are not a bad defense at all. A lot of times their mistakes come with the penalties. if they can keep that under control, I think we got us a really good game going on.
And this is a Warren East team that consistently is always putting up big offensive numbers.
Yes.
We talked about it in the pregame as the Raiders kick this one back the other way. That one's hauled in by Hampton at around the 4-yard line, and he'll look to go for it here on the return. Gets to the 20, now to the 25, brought down right at the 30. Wildcats will start their second offensive drive from there, but we've talked about the differences in these two teams and just the offensive numbers. Warren East consistently over the last several seasons has put up some of the most numbers in the region. They just haven't had the win-loss record to show for it, but you can never doubt their ability to move the ball downfield because of just how explosive their offense is.
Oh, yeah, and they move pretty fast, as we just seen. Like you said, less than 2 minutes off the clock, moving it downfield. That's where the defenses have to start learning what's going on and fix it and adjust. That's what the defensive coordinator does.
And that was the thing with the Raiders, too, is they started this season for their first 2 games combined, only scored 13 points. Over the last 3 games, they've scored over 100. So that just goes to show you, but we got a big break here. Blake McPherson, our player to watch, inside the 30, 20, in tow. He's not going to be able to brought down. He is. It looks like he fumbled the football. Fumbled the football in the end zone. Chaos.
It's a touch.
But they're going to call it a touchdown. We're going to wait on the call here because one ref has initiated the touchdown call for the Wildcats because McPherson got tripped up at about the 4-yard line, but it looked like the ball came out either when he hit the ground or just before.
Oh, my gosh.
But
that
our
was
sideline
an
official,
amazing run.
Our sideline official appeared to call it a touchdown. And the Wildcats are setting up for their PAT here. Your officials tonight are Adam Clark, Joe Perry, Garland Gilliam, Tony Ferreira, Rick Cothern, Travis Puckett, and Joe Middleton. Your officials tonight, as Adam Clark is calling some other officials over at center field. You can see if you're watching on our live stream.
Hey, Azarius Douglas
they're going to talk things
over
over here. It looks like some coaches, or at least from Warren East. I see Max Cheney. He's about halfway off the sideline around the 16-yard line, just about 10 yards or 6 yards or so away from the officials who are huddled up talking this over. And you can see there on your screen, number 5, that's Azarius Douglas, who was on the chase down. He's the one who tripped up Blake McPherson inside the 5. If this ends up being called not a touchdown, it will be because of that effort that he pulled to chase him all the way down from midfield and make that tackle. And Cheney is holding up his arms like it's a touchdown. It's potentially going to be called back.
Is it the fumble?
They're going to call it a fumble, and it is recovered by Warren East, and it looks like they're going to start it. Another offensive drive at their own 1-yard line. Take a look back at this, courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green Hamp. This was pure chaos. As you see, McPherson has so much room. He had the tiniest gap to shoot in the B gap, made it all the way inside the 10, and right at the 1-yard line, you see the ball come out before he can break for the end zone. Oh, so close for Blake McPherson on what would have been arguably one of the longest runs of the entire season.
It was an absolutely amazing run. I mean,
wow.
Cutting through the B gap like that and just guns blazing. I mean, he was just speed, nothing but speed, and just dropped it right there. But it looked like his knee was down.
And you see Douglas as well. You can see his hype is there in the video. Even after the ref called the touchdown, he knew he made that defensive play, but he came so close. Just a tip was all he needed. Back on the offense is Warren East as Isabel drops it off to his left side. No gain on that play. Should bring up 2nd and 10 there. That pass to Braden Lightfoot, unable to get a gain.
Lightfoot tackled by number 5 for the Wildcats. No gain on the play, will be 2nd down.
So no gain on that play from Lightfoot. Will bring up 2nd and 10 with 6:05 left to play here in the first quarter. And what we've already seen, some absolutely insane heroics here. We're all tied up 7-7 between the Raiders and Wildcats.
Defense is set up in a man-to-man.
They don't want to give them an opportunity to make some big plays like they did before. That one's caught inside the 30, past the first down marker. That'll shift the chains by Logan Boyer. Another blowout first down.
Looks like they missed a man on that one. Somebody blew their coverage.
Potentially, I think you would have saw maybe a zone flex would have worked a little bit better in that situation. just lost up on Boyer, who's gotten a couple of snaps in receiver. You see him on this reception again from Isabel, and he'll get a short gain of about 4 yards on that play. It's like it'll bring up 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 6.
Now they're starting to munch away and chip away at this defense, keeping them on the field but getting those little yards. That's all you need. You just need 2 or 3.
And we talk about the big difference in plays here for these two teams. Almost every snap but one has been a pass play for Warren East, but the exact opposite. As Isabel is under pressure, he'll throw this one away. They'll bring up 3rd and 6. Incomplete.
Oh, yeah, the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats were on the prowl back there. They was trying to hunt him down, but he did the smart thing and threw it out of bounds.
So far tonight, Wildcats 8 plays, all 8 of them run plays, 7 of them resulting in a positive gain of yards. The last of those 7 a touchdown. That 8th play was that big breakaway by McPherson that resulted in a fumble. Exact opposite for Warren East as they hand this one off, run it up the middle. Be a gain of about 3 on the play. Bring up 4th and 2. We'll see if Warren East decides to go for it here. So gain of 2 on the run play there as we've got a Warren East player down. I believe that is, we'll wait to see. Can't quite see a jersey. Isabel was checking on him, is now walking away as some of the medical staff from the Warren East side of the field is going out to check on him. Potentially has the wind knocked out of him. He's not holding anything in pain, but is sitting down about the 40-yard line. It is 4th and 2 for Warren East. We're tied up 7-7 with 4:39 to go here in the first quarter. You can see Max Cheney coaching up his team on the sideline, trying to make a defensive stop. But let's take another look back, courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green, at this fumble, because this would have really set the tone off of just one snap for the Wildcats. McPherson showing you his wheels, and the afterburners just ran out right about the 12-yard line where he fumbled the football and the trip up. Getting up off the ground, it was Jeremiah Lee. That was him on that 2-yard run that you saw, and he makes his way back to the sideline. But I imagine that the Raiders will be without him for at least the next couple of snaps if they choose to go for it here on 4th and 2.
That'll probably be the best thing. Let him catch his wind. Let him collect himself and get back together, get back on the field and do his job.
He's currently kneeling down on the sideline. Looks like he was stretching out that right calf and right thigh. So hopefully just some stretching can fix. Here's Isabel, throws it over the middle. That one's caught. Should be a first down after that forward progress is called dead. That was Logan Boyer on the reception for another gain of 2. We'll shift the chains for a blowout Cove first down.
Now that the defense is pressing and they're right up in their faces, now they're catching them on different little passes that is getting them chunk yards.
9 offensive plays so far for the Raiders. 7 of those have been through the air, only 2 on the ground, both from Jeremiah Lee. Here's another 1st and 10 for Isabel. Looking off to his right side, pump fakes, shakes a defender before he's sacked. Big play there from the Wildcats. That was number 54.
Garrett.
D.T. Garrett. Take a look back at this sack, courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green. Big defensive play there. We'll have a loss of 2. We'll break it 2nd and 12 on the way. Big play there for 54. 2nd and long on the way. Here's Isabel surveying to his right side. He's going to throw it deep. He's got Lightfoot inside the 30. No, just past his fingertips. Incomplete.
Oh, man, he had his man beat. He had him beat. If he would have just caught it, it was right off his fingertips.
Lightfoot is one that I think his last name tells you exactly how he plays. He's light on his feet. He's arguably the quickest guy out on the field every single time. He's one they have to cover, especially deep into the secondary. But you saw there, he beat his one-on-one matchup, and Isabel just barely overthrows him. Showing off the cannon. Just got to rein it in just a little. Here's Isabel this time throwing off to his left side. That one's caught right around the first down marker on the left side of the field. It's like Boyer again, who's forced out of bounds. And that will shift the chains for another blowout Cove first down for Warren East. That's the Raiders' 4th first down here in this first quarter. 3:20 to go.
The defense is visibly not happy with what just happened right there. 57, I seen him shake his head and pound it a little bit. He's ready to go, man. They want to make this stop.
12-yard pass gain there for Boyer from Isabel. Going to be the handoff here. They're going to run it up the middle. Decent gain of about 8 for Warren East. They'll bring up 2nd and 2.
Run number 32 for a gain of about
2:50 to go here in this first quarter. First quarter brought to you by Aqualand Pool and Spa. Warren East taking their time on the play calling here. It'll be 2nd and 3 on the way. It was a gain of 7 on the run from number 34 for Warren East, Gavin Henderson. Currently filling in for Jeremiah Lee. Here's the snap. Quick on the tackle is that linebacker group for the Wildcats as they bring him down quickly. Loss of 1 on that play.
Knew it was going to happen at some point. The way they're stacked, when they do stack the line and the way they're coming in beaming. Ears are pent back.
So a loss of 1 on that play will bring up 3rd and 4. Now for Warren East, who wastes no time on the snap. That ball is caught by Lightfoot, and it looks like we'll have a false start called against Warren East. So unfortunate penalty there. We'll send them back and a replay of 3rd down.
This is how it begins. You do not want any penalty of any kind, especially when the momentum's in your favor and you're moving toward a touchdown.
Warren East with some substitutions here. 87 coming off the field. That's Gideon Robbins in favor of Jaden Ritchie. Checking back in. Waiting on the opportunity. Dropping back is Isabel, having to shake some defenders in the pocket. Still on the breakaway here on the QB keeper. He's brought down at about the 40-yard line there on 3rd down. It'll bring up 4th down and a gain of 4 on the play. So Isabel again just trying to create himself some opportunities. That time Ritchie checking back out. Lightfoot back in for Warren East. And it looks to me like they'll potentially go for it here on 4th down. One receiver to the right side, line up on the right hip. Here's Isabel looking off, surveying his right side. He's got a man deep. It's Boyer deep inside the 10. That one's broken up. Flag thrown late. I'm going to imagine that will be a pass interference against the Wildcats.
He had a man wide open. I think it's 17 right there, was wide open in the middle of the field, but he threw it in that double coverage, got the ball knocked down, but like you said, looks like it might be a pass interference.
And it will be pass interference on the Wildcats, so a bit of a bailout moment there for Warren East, as that should shift them forward with another blowout first down for the Raiders. Inside a minute to go here in this first quarter. They're all tied up 7-7. First quarter brought to you by Aqualand Pool and Spa. Aqualand is family-owned and has been serving South Central Kentucky for over 40 years. They specialize in pools, above-ground, semi-in-ground, and custom in-ground, plus therapeutic hot tub saunas and cold plunges for year-round comfort. You can visit aqualandfun.com for more information. Warren East lining back up, and they're going to throw the kitchen sink at it. Boyer in motion to the right side. Here's the snap. Isabel on the screen off to Lightfoot. Tries to shake one tackle, but again, Lightfoot's a guy this defense has had their eye on through watching the film all week long, and he's brought down almost immediately. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 on the way.
Oh, yeah, the Cats knew what play was going right then, and they were right there to meet it.
No gain. It looks like a loss of 1, actually, on that play for Lightfoot. As the clock's running down, 33 seconds to go here in this first quarter. 2nd and 11 on the way for Warren East. Just outside the red zone. Here's the snap. Handoff to Lee, who's now checked back in at running back, but he's brought down quickly as well. Time still running down here in this first quarter. 20 seconds to go. Gain of 1 on the play. That one for Lee puts him back at the original line of scrimmage and will bring up 3rd and 10. And I'm more than certain Warren East will run out the clock here for this first quarter and get a time to talk things over for a huge 3rd down conversion on the way. Final seconds ticking off, and we're all tied up 7-7 between the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats and the Warren East Raiders to open district play. 1 quarter down, 3 more to go. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the start of the second quarter coverage right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait. The dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
Welcome you back here to our coverage as Warren East getting ready to strike some quick scores around the region into the first quarter between Bowling Green and Cal, all tied up 7-7 like we are here at Warren East. All tied up 7-7 between the Wildcats and the Raiders. Isabel quick to snap on the 3rd and 10, moving off to his left side. He's got room to breathe. He's moving his man downfield. Throws it off to his right side instead. He's got Boyer in double coverage. That one's knocked down. Incomplete.
It looks like the ball came out of his hand funny or something like that because it did not get the distance like it should have.
24, Franklin-Simpson on the breakup. That's Xavier Hampton, who is, we've already seen, has been so instrumental in this Franklin-Simpson team, both on offense and on defense. He was the one who scored their opening touchdown on the first drive of the game. And it looks like still here Warren East committed to go for it on 4th down, but you saw a little bit of Isabel's maybe ability to be fluid and move it. It looked like he was kind of pointing his receivers around to move and try to create an opening in the end zone, just couldn't quite get there. 4th and 10, here's the snap. Isabel under pressure, has to throw it off to his left side. That one's caught. Will not get the first down. It's complete to 87. That is Gideon Robbins on the reception, but he's stopped right around the 20, and that will be where Franklin-Simpson will pick it up. So about a 5-yard gain on the pass.
It seems like the Wildcats defense is just kind of missing people. You know, it's like they have everybody covered, and then there's one that just kind of slips out, gets into the middle of the field somewhere, and catches one in one of those pockets.
So second drive of the game for Warren East comes up short. Both teams had scoring drives on their opening offensive drives of the game. And now the Wildcats, who had an opportunity on the first play of their second offensive drive, it was Blake McPherson who had a huge run. It would have ended up being a 65-yard rushing touchdown. Was tackled just inside the 10 and fumbled the football, and Warren East now moved their way back down the field. Another run play here for the Wildcats. It's stuffed right at the original line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a gain of 2 on the play, bring up 2nd and 8. Franklin-Simpson taking their time here, 11:19 to go in this second quarter. Both these teams, we've already seen the dramatics with that fumble right before the end zone for Franklin-Simpson. You have to imagine they feel like they want some redemption. Here's Delk on the move, throwing it off to his left side. That one's caught. Should be a gain of 2 on that play. We'll bring up 3rd and 6. On the tackle was Richard Pennington for Warren East, the sophomore. And like we mentioned, we've not seen a whole lot of passing attempts out of this Franklin-Simpson team. In fact, Hamp, that was their first time passing the football all game.
That's what I was going to say. I think that was the very first time they passed the ball. Everything's been run so far. I think it's the setup. It's the setup. It's coming.
10:30 to go here in this second quarter. Here's the snap. Delk on the QB keeper. Heads off to his right side. Tries to shake some defenders, but a wall of Raiders brings him down after a short gain.
Yeah, now the Raiders, they're spying and they're figuring out what's going on, and they are definitely on top of it.
10 minutes to go now here in this second quarter. Gain of 2. We'll bring up 4th and 2. So 4th down here, and Brady Delk's heading off to the sideline to talk things over with the coaching staff. It's like Max Chaney as well, giving him the game plan here. Breaking into the huddle, and quick to break are the Wildcats, wasting no time. Delk under center. Raiders nearly jump off sides.
Ooh. Hey, they had everybody in the box. They had everybody ready to crash that whole offensive line and break it down.
And just after you saw Warren East almost jump off sides, it's the Wildcats who call their first time out of the game.
Ooh, Those Raiders, they thought they were going to get them. The Cats thought they were going to get them off sides. Heck, they only got, 2 yards to go? Yeah, they tried to get them off sides on that one, but the Raiders, they were all stacked in there, and they knew it was coming. They just knew somebody was coming up the gut, and they were going to try to make that stop, but almost jumped. Good job.
9:42 to go in this second quarter, and with a 4th and 2 situation on the way, you can only imagine that the Wildcats are going to continue to go for it. It's a Max Chaney special. You got to push the envelope. You got to be aggressive, but this Warren East defense doing exactly what they need to do and forcing them to show up on a tough 4th down. The sun has set here, Hamp. It feels like when we got here there was this beautiful orange sunset. We're surrounded by cornfields. It was a picturesque setting, but now the Wildcats wasting no time. Delk snapping it under center. Hands off to McPherson. Gets to about the 30. Looks like he breached the plane. That'll move the chains for a first down for Franklin-Simpson. Another Blacko first down.
They had everybody stacked right there in the middle. He bounced out to the outside on them.
Blake McPherson was our player to watch. That's their 3rd first down of the game for the Wildcats with 9:25 to go. Now you've got a whole field opened up, fresh set of downs for Franklin-Simpson, and they can start to try some things again as they push out from deep within their own territory. About a 3-yard run for Blake McPherson. Starting to get involved on this offense. Here's the handoff again. Quickly brought down. No, they got some space. Down the left side, still on the run, are the Wildcats. It's Hampton. Hampton on a breakaway. Inside the 30. Inside the 20. Looks like he stepped just out of bounds right at the 26-yard line.
Man, that defense, they were stacked and ready to go. Thought he was going to come in the middle. That's the way they had everything lined up. Thought he was coming up the hole, but nope. Swung around the side. Broke it for how long?
30.
30 yards.
Looks like 30 yards from Hampton again, who is the only touchdown scorer of the night and got the Wildcats into the end zone for the first time. As now again the Wildcats just playing hurry up out of the huddle every time. Here's Delk under center. Snapping it. And flag, I think, was thrown late. And it will be against the Raiders. It will be an offsides. Again, that quick motion out of the huddle, I think, is shocking them a little bit. They've only just started doing that here to start the second quarter.
Hey, it's genius, though, because it has everybody off guard. Everybody's off guard.
Wildcats taking their time here. Some other scores around the region at halftime between Somerset and Metcalf. Somerset leads the Hornets 14-0. And between Glasgow and Hart County, Glasgow up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Glasgow looks to be continuing their undefeated success under first-year head coach Jackson Arnett.
Over Hart County?
Over Hart County.
Ooh.
Tough performance going on by the Scotties, but we're here at Warren East as the Wildcats with a little pitch off to the left side. Tackled inside the 10. Shift the chains for another Blacko first down, but that'll bring up 1st and goal now for Franklin-Simpson. On the run that time, it was number 28 for the Wildcats. That's Jerrion Williams, the senior, who had a little pitch out to the backfield. Now bring up 1st and goal.
There ain't nothing wrong with a little shoestring tackle. If you can stop that touchdown from happening, you got to get it any way you can.
Again, Wildcats take their time in the huddle. We'll see if they keep that same pace. They do. Delk under center. Here's the snap. He's going to hand it off to McPherson. McPherson has a lane up the left side. And I think he was brought down just shy of the end zone, right around the 2-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal on the way. Flag is thrown late. Both teams were spread apart. Looks like a flag was thrown. Your officiating crew here this afternoon. I believe it was an unsportsmanlike against the Raiders. Again, your officiating crew tonight, that was Adam Clark, the referee, giving us the call. Joe Perry, Garland Gilliam, Tony Ferreira, Rick Cawthorn, Travis Puckett, and Joe Middleton, your officiating crew tonight, as now the Wildcats going back to it. 2nd and 1, just outside the end zone on the way. Delk under center. They're going to pack the gut here. 3 backs in the backfield. Here's the snap. Handing it off right up the middle. Wildcats punch their way into the end zone for another Edmonton State Bank touchdown.
They pushed that whole defensive line way into the middle of the end zone. That offensive line right there showed great push.
So Franklin-Simpson, it looked like things stalled out a little bit. We had some flags, and ultimately nothing was going to stop them from breaching the end zone here as we take a look at this replay, courtesy of Toyota of Bowling Green. Again, it's Delk. He's got 3 backs in the backfield. He could choose them. They hand it up the middle, and it's number 30. That's Aiden Jones on the carry, getting his first touchdown of the night alongside Xavier Hampton. PAT on the way now, this time from McAllister. That one's up between the uprights and good. No doubter there. It's 14-7, the lead now for Franklin-Simpson as they jump back out front. 7:48 to go in this first half. We'll step aside and see if the Raiders have another chance to make a quick drive downfield and respond. You're watching the Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
You don't just work here.
You show up and you grow.
And to serve your customers well.
We're not just selling cars, we're selling careers and relationships.
Welcome you back here to Warren East High School. As if you're watching on our live stream, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties there, so don't worry about that. We're still going to bring you all the action here as our cameras coming in and out. Hopefully we'll have things sorted out here shortly. Some other scores around the region right now. At halftime between South Warren and Pulaski County, they had themselves a 3-hour road trip. They lead 14-0 at the half. They're not affected by that bus ride fatigue. And Bowling Green leads Cal 17-14 at the half. I know, Hamp, you're going to be a big fan of that one. Kick is sent back the other way. That one's scooped up by the Raiders as they return it back to their own 39-yard line. We're still having some technical difficulties, so you're looking at our thumbnail here. But we'll still call the game all the same, whether you're watching on our live stream or listening over the airwaves. You can watch again on our 7 Mountain Sports YouTube. We're also streaming on Facebook for the first time this season tonight, as well as the Point Rocks app and the Point Rocks website, or over the airwaves at 98.3, 102.7, or 105.3 HD2. We appreciate you for tuning in. Here's Isabel throwing off to Lightfoot on his right side. He dumps it out to the sideline for a 10-yard gain. That'll shift the chains for another Blowout Cove first down. Move him down the field. Isabel just continues to find production in the pass game. Lightfoot getting a little bit more involved. He's had a couple of receptions so far, about 4 on the night. That's his biggest gain so far. He had a gain of 7 early in the first quarter, now a 10. Here's the handoff up the middle for the Raiders. That'll be a solid gain of around 8 on the run.
Looks like they're getting ready to start doing what they did before. Pound it as the Wildcats try to pack the middle of the line.
Now we saw Jeremiah Lee go down for just a little bit in that first quarter, but now he's lined up back against the right hip. That was him on that 8-yard run to bring up 7-yard run. Will bring up 2nd and 3. Isabel throws it off the flat to Boyer, who's brought down by 2 Wildcat defenders, and brings up another Blowout Cove first down for the Raiders. Solid pass there, about a gain of 7 on the play from Isabel to number 11 of Logan Boyer, the senior receiver, who saw his fair share of receptions tonight. He's had about 4 so far, each of them positive. Isabel with Lee lined up on his right hip, dropping back. Plenty of space to breathe thanks to his offensive line. Throws it out deep to the right side. That one's broken up. Incomplete. Intended for Braden Lightfoot in the back right corner of the end zone.
That time the defense played it just right. They played back on them, played a good zone. You had your safety go back there and help. And man, I'm telling you, that was an absolutely perfect way to defend that particular pass.
And again, we talked about the pressure that Braden Lightfoot is under every single time he tries to make a breakaway, and you saw it perfectly clear, Ham, just like you said. 2 safeties just making sure that Lightfoot was taken care of. 2nd and 10 on the way after that incomplete. Here's Isabel on the snap. They're going to hand it off to Lee. He'll take it himself up the middle before he gets forced backwards. It's like a gain of 1 on the play. Will bring up 3rd and 9. So a couple of first downs here for Warren East as they've made it to the Wildcats' 32-yard line. 7 first downs for the Raiders so far, 5 for the Wildcats, and yet the Wildcats lead 14-7 with 6:10 to go in this second quarter. Game's winding down quickly. The lights are on. The sun is set. It's a beautiful night for Friday night lights. You couldn't ask for better weather, especially after the rainy week we've had here in Bowling Green. And the Smurf turf is alive and well. Here's the snap from Isabel. That one's nearly dropped. It looks like it's going to be scooped up by the Wildcats, but no, Isabel recovers the bobbled snap. But that will be a big loss of what looks to be about 7 yards.
Jackson Crafton, he was right there on. He had his hands on it. I know he's kicking himself right now, but he just needs to forget about that and continue on.
It'll be now 3rd and 16, so a gain of 7, or loss of 7 on that bobbled snap. Ooh. Flag's thrown. It looks like it'll be offsides on the Wildcats who fall for that delayed snap.
Jumped just a little bit. 1 inch is too much.
Be 33, Gene Velasco, the sophomore, getting that called against him. So a little aid here on 4th down. As the Raiders, not even thinking twice, they're going to go for it here. Isabel setting Boyer into motion to the right side. No, he's going to spin back to the outside with Jeremiah Lee lined up along Isabel's right hip. Taking their time here with the play clock winding down. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Isabel with 3 receivers on the right side in the diamond.
Almost got him again. Almost got him again.
Nearly got him to draw the offsides. Did the Raiders, but it'll be a timeout called by Warren East, who, again, it's a little bit different this season for them, at least so far. They no longer have Tanner Hall, announced yesterday via a post over social media that he would be stepping down as head coach of this Warren East team. As far as we know, current interim head coach is Grover Moore, who has been the quarterback coach here at Warren East, and they've had such consistent success with that quarterback department over the last 3 seasons. Dane Parsley, you've had Xavier Isabel, who's really stepped into that role this year. Even as a sophomore, you've seen his ability with his arm, and hopefully maybe whether Moore stays in that role or they decide to fill with somebody else, you could see that this is going to be maybe a new step in a different direction for this Warren East team.
Oh, yeah, and personally, I hope they keep Moore. What he's doing right now is showing that he can do the job. He can do the job, and he can take this Warren East Raiders team further, a little bit further than what people think they're going to go.
4th and 13 on the way as both teams head back out to that line of scrimmage. Warren East had that bobbled snap. Isabel just losing it off his fingertips, but was able to recover it. It was about a 7-yard loss there, and then a penalty against the Wildcats offside ships them 5 yards closer. So now it'll be 4 and 13 on the way. Here's the snap. Isabel dropping back. He's got time in the pocket. Now moving to his left, just looking for an open man. He's going to have to fire it and sends it off to the left side. It was intended for Tripp Cunningham, but thrown out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover on downs to the Wildcats.
Tell you what, 33 and 40 were right on Isabel, man. And he threw it out of bounds perfectly. If they were in closer to the hash marks on the inside of the field, that would have been a caught in a first down because he caught it out of bounds. He caught it out of bounds, but just got to do a little better. Just got to have it in a little closer.
Second turnover of the night for the Raiders, and something that, maybe they've started to clean up the penalties a little bit, but the turnovers have been maybe a glaring factor. You have Isabel, who's averaging a little over 1 interception a game. He hasn't thrown one in this game so far. He's had a solid performance in the pass game. Leading off here is the snap up the middle, the run for Franklin-Simpson, the run we've seen all night. That's Jones, who's brought down after a gain of 3.
I kind of lost them there. The Wildcats' pants are almost the exact same color as the field.
They blend in. It's a little both the teams, really. I mean, you got blue just all over this field no matter where you look.
It's like yellow pants and then white shirts, and I get confused a little bit.
4:15 to go in the second quarter. Going to hand off here. A little reverse sweep. 3 different running backs got their hands on it. Ends up in the hands of Hampton, who runs it up for about a 4-yard gain to bring up 3rd down.
Diego Magnier, I think that was him on the tackle again. He's been all over the place.
Warren East defense showing up big. Hamp, you talked about it pregame, you and I, about how much this Warren East defense is been on the field and how many different guys they have. I believe before we came on the air, you mentioned 8 different guys on this Warren East roster that have at least 20 more tackles through the first 5 weeks.
At least 20. At least 20. They stay on the field, but they do really well.
Here's the handoff from Delk. That one to McPherson, who trips up just past the first down marker. That should shift the chains for another blowout first down. And it will. They'll shift the chains downfield. Wildcats just outside of Warren East territory. And that'll be enough for a first down with 3:30 to go here in the first half. Wildcats know they could take their time here. A little bit slower out of the huddle. As Delk now, once again, he's lined up under center for a majority of the snaps in this game. Here's a snap. Handoff from Delk to Jones. Jones punches it up the gut. Lands at about the Warren East 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play. Again, only 2 pass plays by the Wildcats in this game so far, but decent for both. One, a 2-yard pass reception, and the other, a 10-yard reception as well. So they're not afraid to pull it out, but they know where their strengths lie, and they're using it to their advantage.
Oh, yeah. And the Raiders' defense right there, they were kind of spread out a little bit, which left them. They were before packing that line, and they were still making plays, the Wildcats were. But right here, look, they're stacking it up again.
Stacking it up. Here's Delk. Another 3-back handoff to McPherson, who ends up with it, and he's brought down quickly. Warren East doing a great job of figuring out which running back ends up with the football.
They're playing it just right now. Before it was kind of like stack, go in, everybody attack. But now it's kind of, okay, we're going to stay loose. We're going to hang back a little bit. We're going to spy. But now, like right then, they stacked it up, knew they were going to run, and was right on top of it.
Gain of 2 on the play for McPherson. That'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats, who just continue to run down as much clock as possible. Now 2 minutes to go in this first half, and they lead 14-7. Delk under center. Here's a snap. Handing it off to McPherson this time. No trickery here. Gain of 2 will bring another blowout first down for the Wildcats.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
Even though they were lined up to blitz it again, just didn't help.
7th first down for Franklin-Simpson. 1:40 left to go in the first half. It's a 14-7 Wildcat lead as they got a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the Warren East 40-yard line on the left hash. Breaking out of the huddle. Here's Delk, uncharacteristically lining up in the shotgun. Dropping out to his right side, looking for the receiver. He's going to throw it way deep. He's got a man. That one's overthrown.
Oh, I knew
Lands
it.
at about the 5, and a flag is thrown off. It looks like it's going to be pass interference, I imagine, on Warren East. That'll be on Azarius Douglas, who's had some big plays in the secondary, but an unfortunate mistake this time around is he's going to get that pass interference called against him.
Oh, yeah, he made a little contact, and when he made that contact, it was just enough for the ref to say, nope, you pushed him off of the game. Oh, you pushed him away from the ball when he could have caught it.
1:22 now to go in this first half, and a favorable penalty for Franklin-Simpson as that will shift them downfield considerably into Warren East territory. They've got what they would probably consider uncomfortable 14-7 lead, but now a chance to strike and go up by 2 scores with less than a minute and a half to go in the first half. Quick to the line. Delk again in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Looks off to his left side. That one's underthrown, intended for Hampton, and it bounces around the 20-yard line. Incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10.
He had that pressure put on him right then by number 2, and he was hawking him down, so he had to get rid of it kind of quick and couldn't get it up to where he needed to be. If he'd have got that ball right up in the numbers, been a good ball.
Minute 16 to go in this second quarter. Second quarter brought to you by Morgantown Bank and Trust. Some other scores around the region. We told you about Bowling Green and Cal. At the half, Bowling Green leads 17-14, and into the first quarter between Warren Central and Greenwood, all tied up 0-0 just across town. Here's the snap. Dropping back is Delk. He's going to throw it off his right side to Hampton. He nearly scoops it in, but it's incomplete.
He almost bean-topped him. 3 defenders were back there on him at that time. 3 defenders, and he almost still caught it.
Hampton just reached over the top and looked like he was going to be able to almost excavate or scoop it into his chest and just couldn't get the ball in. Incomplete. Will bring up 3rd and 10 again here for Franklin-Simpson. They lead 14-7. It's a minute 9 left to go in this first half. Again, the second quarter coverage brought to you by Morgantown Bank and Trust. Some other scores around the region. Max Cheney stepping off the sideline to talk to his team. We mentioned that just across town between Warren Central and Greenwood. Your current score at the end of the first quarter, they're tied up 0-0. Nobody has scored just yet between the Dragons and the Gators. And into the first quarter between Paducah-Tillman and Allen County-Scottsville, it's Paducah-Tillman 35-0 over the Patriots. Minute 9 to go here at Warren East between the Wildcats and the Raiders. Under center is Delk on the snap. Two-man handoff ends up in the hands of McPherson. Run down the 20, inside to the 10 before he's knocked out of bounds.
That's the second time they run that play, or third time they run that play.
12-yard gain on that run from McPherson, which, if I'm not mistaken, would be his longest successful run of the night, unless you count that fumble earlier in the first quarter. Minute 2 to go here in the second quarter. Franklin-Simpson now with a chance to strike. First and goal on the way.
First and goal for the Wildcats.
On the way, minute 2. Delk under center. Handed off to Hampton on the left side, who's grasped around the ankles and brought down quickly. Looks like a gain of 2 on the play. He's brought down by Richard Pennington. Franklin-Simpson calls their timeout as they shift just a couple yards over to their sideline. Max Chaney heading into the huddle to talk to his team. You can see the Raiders heading back to their respective sideline. 57 seconds to go in this first half, and they've got a chance to come up with a big defensive stop here. It'll be second and looks like 14.
Ryan, I'm looking around at this student section over here, and I'm wondering what the theme is. Is it America the Beautiful, or is it red, white, and blue? Or
I was questioning it myself. I saw someone is down there wearing a Statue of Liberty outfit, and for some reason, she is the one taking pictures of other people. Why would you not want to? I feel like you should be the one people are taking pictures with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got the Statue of Liberty. You got a guy dressed like the baseball guy from the Warriors. You got a guy wearing the flag as a cape.
I believe there's a lady with a sword as well. Not sure what that pertains to, but it is a sword. She's wearing red, white, and blue.
Maybe she's in the cavalry.
It's fun atmosphere.
It's fun atmosphere.
It's also, if I'm not mistaken, it is homecoming here at Warren East, so we're going to have a little bit of extended halftime coverage. That's something you can look forward to once this first half wraps up. There's 57 seconds to go in this second quarter. It's Franklin-Simpson that leads 14-7. They're trying to play spoiler to homecoming here tonight, and Warren East not inclined to let that one happen. Wildcats heading back to the line. Lined up in the shotgun is Delk. Here's the snap, wasting no time, fakes the handoff. He's going to go on the QB keeper. Here's Delk inside the 10. Looking to break up the middle to the inside, breaches the 5 before he's brought down. And that'll bring up third and goal with 45 seconds to go. And quickly after that, a timeout is called once again by Franklin-Simpson. That'll be their final timeout of the half with 45 seconds to go.
If he wouldn't have tried to break ankles right then and probably just put his head down, put the shoulder in, might have got the touchdown off that one.
And you can see Delk and Hampton both there on your screen, who have had arguably the biggest effect on this game so far tonight. Aiden Jones in that huddle as well for the Wildcats, who could potentially punch this one in. They're going to snap it. It'll be third and goal from the 5. Or from the 4, rather, for Franklin-Simpson, with a chance to go up by 2 scores. They lead 14-7. Some other scores around the region if you're just now joining us here on the 7 Mountain Sports Network. Again, we mentioned Paducah-Tillman that leads 35-0 over Allen County-Scottsville. At halftime at Butler County, it's Butler County that leads 7-0 over Edmondson County. And again, we mentioned that Bowling Green Cal score. It's Bowling Green that leads 17-14 over Christian Academy Louisville. And then just across town, Warren Central Greenwood are all tied up 0-0 after 1.
Got some decent games going on, though.
Seems like there's a lot of close games around the region, especially here in town. Wildcats quick out of the huddle. Here's Delk under center on the snap. Hands it off to McPherson to finish the job. Wastes no time through the A-gap. Touchdown.
There was nothing they could really do about that one. The way that hole opened up the offensive line, when they get down there on that red goal line offense, man, they opened it up.
Replay on this, courtesy of Toyota of Bowling Green. You can see another Edmonton State Bank touchdown for Franklin-Simpson, and this time it's Blake McPherson who breaches the end zone on a 4-yard run. His first touchdown of the night. He was our player to watch and finds the end zone. Here's the PAT on the way for McAllister. That one's up between the pylons. It is good. Extra point is good. It's a 21-7 lead now for the Wildcats with 42 seconds to go in this first half. Beautiful shots from up on the roof from our own Megan Geisler running our game cam. Down on the field, you've got Ian Lewis bringing us some great shots as well. What a fun night it's been so far, and we still got a whole second half of football to play. Again, we mentioned it is Warren East homecoming here tonight, so we will have slightly extended halftime coverage. We'll bring you all the stats right here on the Seven Mountain Sports Network. It should be a good time. We'll bring you some highlights as well, all the touchdowns that have been scored so far in this game, and we'll see if Warren East here in these final 42 seconds can get something going. But regardless of if they succeed or not, as long as they don't turn over the football, they know they'll start the second half with the offense.
If they go in and have a positive momentum, if they can just go in, like you said, don't turn the ball over, don't have any penalties, any type of mistakes, go in better than they go out, you know what I'm saying, then everything's a win. They come back out, take the ball down the field, possibly.
Brody McAllister had that PAT, and now he'll return this kick back to the Raiders. Back to receive is number 5 for Warren East. That's Douglas. Now he'll go on the return straight up the middle, but the Wildcats not going to let him get any gains here. He's stopped at the 19.
Wildcats look like a bunch of prey going after their prey. I mean, a bunch of predators going after their prey the way they surrounded him and tackled him.
Douglas hopping a little back to the sideline, looking a little shook up after that one, but energized no less. 37 seconds to go in the first half. Warren East will have a couple of snaps here to try and respond. The question is, do they play sideline or do you just try to go deep?
Go deep.
You heard it from Ham. Go deep. Here's Isabel on the handoff. It's like it's to Lee. Lee on a big breakaway to the 40 before he's brought down.
But when you can do that right there, you just run it up the gut.
21-yard run for Jeremiah Lee to open this one up. Clock's still running down, though, in the first half. 30 seconds to go, and it's still winding down. Warren East wasting no time. They're in the quick tempo. Here's the snap for Isabel. Isabel once again handing it off to Lee. He runs it up the middle to the 50. Flag thrown in the backfield. Still spinning off defenders is Lee, who breaches into Wildcat territory, but we'll see what this is for. Clock is stopped at 16.4 seconds to go in the first half.
Now, I see why they're running the way that they are. The defense is set up in a situation where they're all spread out. They're thinking that they're looking for the bomb, so they're just dropping it in the gut.
11-yard gain there. It was a face mask on the Wildcats, so regardless, it's another blowout coat first down with that flag in the backfield. 16 seconds to go, and they've had 2 consecutive plays of at least 11 yards or more. First play was a 21-yard run by Lee, another 11-yard run to follow that up. Here's another snap. Isabel going into the pass game now. Drop back in the pocket. Finds Lee. No, it's incomplete off to the sideline. 6.9 seconds now left in this first half. 21-7 the lead for the Wildcats with right at 7 seconds to go.
And this is kind of where they want them. You know, they got the defense spread all the way out, expecting a bomb down the field, and dumping it short and letting your speedster get upfield is the way to go. But we can't miss those opportunities like we just did right there. You can't miss those when it's wide open and you're throwing it a little too high.
It's the youth, potentially inexperience of a sophomore quarterback who's put up big numbers so far this season. Timeout called by Warren East, who are now in the huddle with 7 seconds to go in this first half. They want to try, just like we mentioned beforehand, right into that second half with some momentum. And getting on the board again would certainly help that.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Getting on the board would be a game changer for them. I think they will go in with absolute confidence rather than wondering what's going on. I think some of them right now have their heads like, what are we doing right now? They got to keep their heads up, go in here, try to score. If they don't, they still did well. All they got to do is not turn the ball over.
Regardless of the headlines over this past week or maybe over the past couple of weeks, the rumors floating through the air, it's the Raiders who, regardless of the situation, have been unwavering in their efforts, trailing the Wildcats now 21-7 here on their homecoming. 7 seconds to go in the first half. Here's the snap from Isabel. Screen to Lightfoot. Looks like a flag was thrown in the backfield, but Lightfoot creating some space and getting to around the 32-yard line with 0.2 seconds on the clock in the first half, but it is a false start penalty called against the Raiders.
Those are the things. Those are the things.
So it looks like they will have one more play potentially to get off. It looks like that the Raiders are looking to wonder about the time, and Warren East is going to choose to take a timeout here. Final timeout of the half for Warren East. They got 0.2 seconds, so effectively, Hamp, it's pretty simple. Target the end zone.
Might as well. Either chuck it or nil it. One of the two at this point right here. 0.2 seconds. Why not go for it?
And if I'm not mistaken, inside the huddle there with Warren East, that should be interim head coach Grover Moore. And as far as I could see, it looked like he pointed his guys down towards their end zone. He was like, that's where we're going. That's where we need to be. Some officials still talking things over. It was a false start penalty called against the Raiders that has now put them at a 2nd and long. Offense stepping back out onto the field.
Looks like we have a Wildcat coach all the way in the middle of the field talking with the refs.
Someone from the Franklin-Simpson side was all the way out at midfield and is now walking all the way back to his sideline. Wasn't Max Chaney. Max Chaney's off to the right side, but either way, last play on the way of the first half. Isabel dropping back, steps up in the pocket. He's going to fire it deep. Lightfoot's back there. This might get picked off. That one is incomplete. Lands right at the 1 yard line, and that will conclude the first half. Warren East putting it all on the line, and they come up just short in that first half. They trail 21-7 to the visiting Franklin-Simpson Wildcats here to open district play. Will they mount the comeback? We'll have to wait till the second half to find out, but don't go anywhere because we've got a huge halftime show coming up. It's going to be a little bit extended with homecoming here at Warren East. We'll bring you all the stats, the highlights from that first half, and see whether or not Warren East can mount that comeback. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we'll have our halftime show right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait, the dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated. And from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
We know getting your car serviced isn't exactly your favorite thing to do.
That's why we don't treat it like it's just another job.
You want it done fast without cutting corners.
We get it right the first time.
You've got places to be.
So we move like your schedule depends on it. Because it does.
Clear communication, no surprises.
Trust goes further than miles.
Toyota of Bowling Green.
We make servicing your vehicle simple.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait, the dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
Welcome you back here to 7 Mountain Sports Network for your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week. An exciting first half here at Warren East. Homecoming festivities currently underway on the Smurf turf, and it's the Wildcats who lead at the half, 21-7 over the Warren East Raiders. A couple of offensive stats for you as we look down the scoring sheet for Franklin-Simpson. No surprise here. The run game has been what it's all been about, and boy, have they done it well. 176 rushing yards already in this game so far. Only 12 passing, but they've come in crucial times. 188 total yards for the Wildcats. And for Warren East, they got on the board early. They responded to the Wildcats' opening drive with a touchdown of their own. They've got 80 passing yards so far, 24 rushing, 104 total. So a bit of difference there in terms of the offense. We haven't seen this Warren East offense get going like we have a majority of the season, but still plenty of opportunity for them to fire off in the second half. 9 first downs for the Wildcats, 9 as well for the Raiders, but that so-crucial number. You had an interception right there as the clock ran out to end the game when Warren East just kind of threw up a prayer, and that tallies up to 3 turnovers so far through that first half for the Raiders, only 1 for the Wildcats. Hamp, what are they looking like defensively?
Defensively, everybody is playing their best, but the Wildcats are holding them together, and the Raiders, they're not doing bad at all. They're doing exactly what they've been doing the whole year, what we've been seeing. Just need to improve a little bit, and they will be okay. On the Warren East Raiders side, Sam Tunks has the most tackles right now, 7+. And on Franklin-Simpson's side, Jamarius Franklin has 7+ tackles on the day. So both defenses are actually on the field because the offenses are actually, putting in plays. But the defenses, they are absolutely doing pretty good. I've loved seeing Warren East not committing as many turnovers, or not turnovers, but committing as many penalties as we've seen when we watched them earlier in the year.
So they've started to whack some things off. You're getting to the midway point of the season. You're turning the page to district play. You started to work some things out. Now it's just getting that offense rolling going into this second half. The Wildcats lead 21-7, but it started pretty decent for Warren East. In their opening offensive drive, they had a big touchdown here, about a 10-yard pass. This one from Isabel to Jeremiah Lee in the back corner of the end zone. He had to shuffle his way around to the left side before he found him over there in the corner, but he ended up getting it done. That responded, tied up things 7-7, but things got interesting this time for the Wildcats. They go out their first offensive snap right after that touchdown, a 66-yard breakaway for Blake McPherson he's tripped up right inside the 10-yard line. He fumbles the football. It's recovered by Warren East. They start a drive from their own 1-yard line. They're unable to score on that drive, unfortunately. But, man, the points just kept rolling in for Franklin-Simpson. First one, again, after that was Aiden Jones, number 30, who from the 1-yard line just punches it right up the gut. That's that Max Chaney special, just getting them in that consistent range to score easily. Aiden Jones putting up big numbers in this game so far. He's one they've relied on in the run game, but this 3-back system has done a lot for him. A similar score this time around. It's the player to watch that we named for you in our pregame show, Blake McPherson, who runs it in for a 4-yard rushing touchdown. A strong first-half performance from both of these teams, but it's the Wildcats who have the upper hand at the half here on homecoming, 21-7 over the Warren East Raiders. It's homecoming. Can the Raiders mount that comeback and take the win here, what would be their second win of the 2025 season? We'll step away. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more key stats, maybe some scores around the region as well, right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
I want to buy this truck, man. This is perfect.
It is a beautiful truck. Do you want to see the inside?
Is it available?
Yeah, sure is.
Is it available?
I just said it was.
Hey, how many miles has it got on it?
Just over 30,000 miles. Still practically new.
But it's got rain on it.
What? Do you want to see the inside? Do you have any questions?
No. I have to think about it. Also, it has rain on it.
Selling your car shouldn't be a pain. Bring your vehicle out to Toyota Bowling Green and we'll make sure you get taken care of.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait. The dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
Welcome you back here to Warren East High School as homecoming festivities are wrapping up here, announcing the homecoming queen here at Warren East High School. And current halftime score between the Wildcats and the Raiders, it's a Wildcats lead of 21-7. Could have been 28-7. We saw some great opportunities there. A fumble recovery touchdown, what could have been for Blake McPherson, and he made sure to get his back going down on a couple of drives later for the Wildcats. But it's the Wildcats that lead 21-7. About 10 minutes to go left here at halftime. We'll look at some scores around the region, at least our most recent updates into the third quarter between Cal and Bowling Green. Bowling Green was leading, Hamp, I know you're going to love this, was leading 17-14. Now it looks like Cal found themselves back in the end zone, 21-17 at the end of 3. Bowling Green still very much in it. They trail by 4 at the end of the third quarter. Halftime here, again, we mentioned 21-7 between the Wildcats and the Raiders. Halftime at Glasgow, 21-0, the Scotties lead over Hart County. What a statement win it would be tonight if the Scotties could walk away with that one to open district play. Halftime between Barron and Grayson. Barron County leads 15-0 at the half, and then Monroe County putting up some big numbers, full tilt, 28-0. They lead over Clinton County at halftime as well. And we talked about that first quarter score between Warren Central and Greenwood. Well, boy, that has changed. Greenwood now leads Warren Central at the half 23-0. So the Gators really exploded out of the swamp. It just took them a little bit, maybe getting used to that turf over there in Dragons territory. Our most recent update from between Paducah-Tillman and Allen County Scottsville, it was Paducah-Tillman leading 35-0 at the end of the first quarter. Those are your scoring updates from around the region. And, of course, we're here at Warren East High School where the Wildcats have had themselves a big night. We talked about the Spartans earlier as well. First year in 6A, well, you wouldn't know it. They lead Pulaski County 28-0 in the third quarter. South Warren is on a roll, whether they're on the road or whether they're back home at that shiny new turf field.
This is Sparta. Wherever they go, that's just the way they play. That's just the way they look at things, no matter where they are. This is Sparta. This is our country.
It's find a way. That's their team motto. They find a way no matter what the circumstances may be, and that's what Warren East is going to have to do tonight. They're going to have to adopt a little bit of that Spartan mentality to find a way to rally back. They've had some opportunities at some big plays, and honestly, though, Hamp, though we look at the split, I'm not seeing as much passing yards, I think, as I would have expected so far out of this Raiders team, at least by our numbers, only aiding passing yards so far from Xavier Isabel in his time through that first half. But, man, Franklin-Simpson, 176 rushing yards. That number sticks out the most, especially for a Warren East team that last season allowed almost 2,500 rushing yards on the ground.
God. gosh, I didn't realize it was that many rushing yards.
Yes.
But they're not doing too bad. That Warren East team should have 2 more scores on the board right now. There were a couple of deep balls that were dropped or got knocked down or was thrown into double coverage, things like that. If he cleans that up and looks down the field for those wide open receivers, things will definitely change. Hopefully they're in there looking at that stuff now and saying, hey, scan the field, Isabel. You got guys wide open. The score would be tighter if some of those balls were actually caught.
Homecoming festivities have wrapped up here at Warren East, and things are going to be winding down here at halftime. We're glad you could join us here for your halftime show, whether you're listening on YouTube or watching along on YouTube. We're also live on Facebook for the first time this season. If you're watching with us on Facebook, we welcome you in. And if you're tuning in via the Point Rocks app or on our website or over the radio waves at 98.3, 102.7, or 105.3 HD2 on the Point Rocks. We appreciate you for tuning in with us here this evening at Warren East High School on the Smurf Turf. Again, we want to thank you to our sponsors who make it possible to get out here to the Smurf Turf, not necessarily every single week, but to wherever it is we're at for our Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Weekend. Our sponsors being Aqualand Pool and Spa, Morgantown Bank and Trust, The Blowout Co., Edmonton State Bank, Toyota Bowling Green, State Farm agent Will Coker, and NCTC, powered by Warren, RECC, as well as Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia, our presenting sponsor for our coverage week in and week out. We're going to go ahead and take ourselves a break. When we come back, halftime will be wrapping up. These teams will be back out on the field, warming up, getting ready for a second half. And can the Raiders, just like you said, Hamp, adopt that Spartan mentality, find a way in this second half? It's the Wildcats that lead 21-7 at the half. We'll step aside and come back right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the Seven Mountains Sports Network.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated, and from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
Welcome you back here to the Smurf Turf at Jim Ross Field. It's Warren East High School. Hamp, it's a little bit different than when you played here. It's a little bit brighter, a lot of it bluer.
Definitely.
And a little bit brighter. A lot more lights out here.
A lot more lights out here in the baseball field. I just got to mention that because we can see it across the way. I've never actually seen the baseball field before. But looking across over here, across the football field and looking into the baseball field, it's absolutely amazing what they've done to this campus all the way around. It's absolutely gorgeous compared to, not saying that it was absolutely bad or anything back when I was growing, when we were coming to school, but you know, it was different times. It was
different times.
It was the early 90s. It was the early 90s. Things with Bowling Green was still growing and still trying to figure things out. And now that they have, everybody has turf field. I'm just going to say it. This is the best field in my opinion. I love the blue.
I don't think I can disagree with you. I think I have to agree.
But it's absolutely amazing out here. The atmosphere is nice out here. Warren East Raiders are looking to make sure that their homecoming isn't ruined, and hopefully they can pull it back. I'm rooting for them on that, and I'm rooting for the Wildcats because, man, both teams are just doing so well. And, you know, I'm a defensive guy. I love watching defenses work, and I love watching the way these guys tackle because I haven't seen a lot of the shoulder tackles. I've seen a lot of the wrap-up and put them, you know, technical and I can't even think of the word right now, but they are tackling exactly the way they're supposed to. They're covering as best as they can. A lot of these things that are happening is because there's just a pocket here or there that they're just missing a player or two, and they're dropping it in there. Warren East Raiders could come back and get this one. Like I said, we've seen a couple of deep balls where they've had a guy beat, but the ball comes off the fingertips or they don't get to haul it in. all they got to do is haul it in, concentrate and haul it in, and things will change.
That's the thing. This Wildcats team, they've not allowed a whole lot of points this season. The most points they gave up was actually their most recent loss against Paducah-Tillman, which in a lot of the media polls, they are seen as either the best team or the second best team, only behind Boyle County in 4A.
Man.
So for them to, at the half as well in that game for Franklin-Simpson, they only trailed 14-7 and ended up losing 14-35. So they played pretty close with arguably one of the top teams in 4A. That was their most recent game. That was last week against Paducah-Tillman. They were on the road for that one as well. To do that on the road at the half against Paducah-Tillman is a tough task. But otherwise, the scoring from this Franklin-Simpson team has been phenomenal. The first 4 weeks, 33 points or more they were able to score through their first 4 weeks of play. And honestly, if they get going a little bit in the second half, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that same number.
Not at all. Not at all. If they keep rolling, keep going, doing the things that they are doing, they're going to be just fine. I mean, the way that it's put together, the run, beat your defensive line up and then over the top. I love seeing that out of the offense. I love seeing the defense not get so rattled that, again, I got to say it, I'm proud of Warren East, looking at from where they came from at the beginning of the year, where they were jumping off sides. They were doing all kinds of things that were causing them big problems on defense and on offense, but they have reined that, they've harnessed that in and gotten control of that. And I love seeing the way that they are responding to what the Wildcats are doing, and I love seeing what the Wildcats are doing when they get knocked. They're like, no, wait a minute, we got to get this back under control. So both teams are doing absolutely amazing in controlling the way that they respond to the way each team does their good things.
Wildcats are back out on the field. They're warming up. Warren East, I'm sure, in any moment now will be heading back out. Some other score updates throughout the region. We told you that third quarter score earlier between Cal and Bowling Green. Fourth quarter now underway, and at the start of that one, Cal leads 21-17. And halftime between Caverna and Christian County, they have evidently got a thriller going on over there. Caverna leads Christian County 26-24. And here at the Smurf Turf, it's the Wildcats that lead 21-7. Raiders just now leaving their locker room over on the far right side of the field from the camera if you're watching with us live, and they'll go ahead and start warming up. Wildcats are getting their stretching routines back in. It was a strong first half for them, 176 rushing yards, and they'll look to replicate some of that performance here tonight. Their offense has consistently been rolling all year. They average about 324 yards per game offensively, but we mentioned pregame, Warren East averages 20 yards more than that, but so far it's been the Franklin-Simpson defense that has held them to just 104 offensive yards total.
Keeping it under control. They're just keeping it all in front of them. All they're doing is keeping it all in front of them, making sure that Warren East does not complete those explosive plays that they are accustomed to doing, because Warren East can do it. They can do it. They got the run game. They got the throwing game. It's just all about getting it all together.
Putting all the pieces together. Hamp, you mentioned it, that this is a team that when we saw them in the first couple games of the season, as they now head back out onto the field to warm up, that was consistently falling under consecutive penalties, making some mistakes that you try to iron out, at least by the time you get to the midway point. You can see that here. Now it's just fallen to maybe one or two on occasion that, sometimes things get a little out of hand, but so far the Raiders doing a much better job penalty-wise. Only struggle has been the turnovers. That is something they're going to want to clean up going into this second half. Again, huge appreciation to our entire crew. Makes it possible to get live. Ryan Murphy here with you. Big Hamp alongside Matthew Clark, our director-producer. Up on the roof bringing you all the awesome shots with our game cam is Megan Geisler. Down on the field is Ian Lewis. And to our board ops back at the station, that's Jennifer Allen and Dalton Lawson. We appreciate them for helping us get on the air tonight, whether you're watching on our YouTube live stream or for the first time this season on our 7 Mountain Sports Facebook page. We're also live on the Point Rocks app and the Point Rocks website, along with that on 98.3, 102.7, and 105.3 over the radio waves. Whatever you're listening or joining us for our Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week, it wouldn't be here without you. We also wouldn't be here without our sponsors. Our title presenting sponsor, Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia, Aqualand Pool and Spa, Morgantown Bank and Trust, The Blowout Co., Edmonton State Bank, Toyota of Bowling Green, State Farm Agent Will Coker, and NCTC, powered by Warren RECC. And there you can see on your screen if you're watching via our video coverage. Xavier Isabel back out on the field, warming up to try to lead a charge and a comeback here in this second half. Isabel so far in this game has had several completions. If we're doing the math here, 12 completions so far for Isabel in this game, and on the season has had considerable numbers. Already over 1,000 yards, came into the game tonight with 1,069 yards through the air. Already 11 touchdowns, averaging 2 touchdowns through the air a game, but along with that 6 interceptions, averaging at least 1 interception a game coming into tonight. Averages over 200 yards a game through the air, is 100 for 176 on that completion percentage. A solid completion rate there for a young sophomore quarterback who's taking a lot of completions, but he's a guy who has shown up and stepped into what were big shoes to fill last season from the departing senior and Dane Parsley, who played on all sides of the ball. But the good thing for Isabel is, Hamp, like we mentioned the first game we saw Warren East, is that they're not shoes that he has to worry about filling. They're his own shoes. That's all he has to worry about filling, is being the best player that he knows he can be.
And he is absolutely doing that right now. It's like he's not even worried about that. It's like he definitely knows that his shoes are big enough. He fits them.
McAllister kicking this one back to the Raiders. They deferred after winning the coin toss, and now they'll start the second half with the football. Here's Douglas on the return reception. He gets brought down at the 22-yard line, and the Raiders will pick it up from there.
Again, the tackling, number 22, did it exactly right. Wrap them up. You got to wrap them up and not let them go.
That was Douglas on the return to about the 22-yard line. 1st and 10 now for the Raiders as the second half gets underway. They trail the Wildcats. It's a 21-7 lead for Franklin-Simpson. As now Isabel lines up in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. He's got Lee lined up on his right hip. It's going to be a handoff to Lee, who runs up the middle. Still making gains and dragging defenders with him. He'll get past the first down marker. That'll shift the chains for a blowout co first down. Perfect gain of 10. 10 first downs now for the Raiders. Just one ahead, and yet they trail 21-7 to the Wildcats. Here's another handoff to Lee, who finds open space and plenty more to breathe. Inside the 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, end zone. Touchdown, Jeremiah Lee. What a breakaway.
Woo! That right there, boy. That was a run. Now they came right back out, and things are changing. Things are changing.
Second half makes the difference. Jeremiah Lee, what a run. 61 yards. Would not be tamed. All the way to the house. Another Edmonton State Bank touchdown right out of the jump into the second half for the Raiders. Puts them back within 1 score.
Man, that close from getting him. That close from getting him. He almost ran him down, but it was just too late.
You see the celebration there from Lee, who we actually saw go down early in the first quarter and was able to hop back up and has brought the much-needed energy as the PAT is complete for Warren East. They're now back within a score, 21-14. The Wildcats lead now. Can the Raiders come up with a huge defensive stop? We'll step aside and see if the Wildcats choose to respond with a score of their own right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
Welcome you back here to Warren East High School, and 2 plays is all it takes, both from Jeremiah Lee. One, a 10-yard run to shift the chains, and another, well, they're not even going to let the chain guys move. 62 yards, the run to the house for Jeremiah Lee, puts the Raiders back within 1 score. They now lead 21-14 with 11:21 to go here in this third quarter. The football returned back to the Wildcats, but a flag is thrown just after the kick.
Now I wonder if that could be an offsides.
Potentially. an offsides because it looks like it's against. It'll be a false start against the Raiders. We'll send them back, so a little bit more difficult punt here. Solid punt there, or kickoff, or kick return, I should say, for Warren East. That one landed right about the 16-yard line in Wildcats territory. And now they'll be forced to do it again.
Raiders were just a little too anxious to get down there and get them Cats.
Night's cooling down here as we start this third quarter. Warren East trying to ice the Wildcats as they're back within a score. Wildcats now lead 21-14 as now it looks like the Raiders may go for an onside kick. I think it's recovered. Football is loose. I think the Wildcats ended up coming down with it.
Woo! They almost lost it.
Nearly was recovered by Gavin Henderson, but I think the ball just slipped out and Aiden Jones, or no, not Aiden Jones, it was actually Caden Bennett who recovered the football for the Wildcats right around midfield.
Man, just that close. That ball was squeaking, flipping, and flopping everywhere.
So now the Wildcats going to start this drive with slightly better field position. They'll have this 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line with 11:17 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats with a 21-14 lead. Delk under center. Here's the snap. Immediate handoff to, looks like Aiden Jones up the middle. 3-yard gain will bring up now 2nd and 7 for the Wildcats.
That Raider defense just powdered on in the middle of the field right there, and they just had to make that stop, and they just got to continue on, keep doing what they're doing. I want to see if he's going to stack it again, thinking that they're going to run again, or if the Wildcats are going to take it up top.
So another penalty now, the second in just 3 plays for Warren East. That time a face mask against the Raiders will shift the Wildcats even deeper now. A 15-yard penalty against Warren East will bring up 1st and 10 again for Franklin-Simpson.
This is where they got to step it up right here and make the stops that they need.
On the snap is Delk. He'll hand it off this time to McPherson, who heads off to the right side, breaks one tackle, breaks another before he's knocked out of bounds around the 20-yard line. That'll shift the chains for a block Cove first down. 12 yards to run that time for McPherson. Just after that 3-yard run from Jones, and right after that 3-yard run, we saw the face mask penalty that gifted the Wildcats another 15 yards and now has them at the Raiders' 21-yard line, just outside the red zone. 1st and 10 on the way. Delk going in under center behind Carter Grimes. Here's a snap. Hand off to Hampton. Hampton looking out to his left side, potentially looking for some space. Cutting up the right side, shakes one defender, then 2. Gets a push from behind, all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Hampton. Second Edmonton State Bank touchdown of the game for Hampton.
3 defenders. 3 defenders he left laying on the ground over there.
21 yards the run for Xavier Hampton that time around. As now we'll go for the PAT. 6 more points on the board. Let's take a look courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green. Hampton off to his left side. Fakes out to the right. Back to the left. Then back up to the right side. And gets a push from a teammate to get him all the way to the end zone. Second touchdown for Hampton. PAT on the way for McAllister. That one's up between the pylons. It is good. 28-14 now the score. Franklin-Simpson on top with 10:07 to go in the third quarter.
Those Raiders had the Cats right there in the net. All they had to do was hold it down, but they couldn't. He wiggled, swiveled, and got on up out of there.
You see head coach Max Chaney talking with his team on the sideline. But what great footwork from Xavier Hampton on that run. He faked out to the middle multiple times, and that second fake is ultimately what gave him that slight window and a push from behind to get to the end zone. A 21-yard run to the house for Xavier Hampton, his second touchdown of the night. He was the first to put the Wildcats on the board early in the first quarter with a 10-yard run, and now has found himself back for another Edmonton State Bank touchdown. 10 minutes to go now in this third quarter. Warren East are going to hope to now respond in kind. Opening drive only took them 2 plays, a 10-yard run from Lee and then a 62-yard run again from Lee all the way to the house. This one's brought in by Douglas, and he'll try to return it from the 4. Oh, they're going to pitch it off to Lightfoot. Ooh. Lightfoot loses his footing slightly around the 20, tries to stiff arm a man, heads down the sideline, steps out of bounds right around the 25-yard line.
I think it's a little slippery out there still. I mean, there's been a few slip-ups right there in the game tonight.
I've noticed a couple times now that, and you've mentioned, just as you mentioned it, Ham, that is it possible with the amount of rain we've got this week that maybe this turf is still feeling the effects of that?
A little watery still.
Isabel back in the shotgun. He'll have 2 receivers off to his left side, 1 to the right, and Jeremiah Lee lined up just behind him on the right hip. He's going to hand it off to Lee, who finds a spot in the A-gap but is brought down quickly. A gain of 1 on the play for Lee. So 3 straight plays for Lee offensively in this second half and has combined for 75 rushing yards just in the opening 2.5 minutes of the second half. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff to Lee, throws it over the top. That one's hauled in by Boyer. It's going to go down about the 34-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd and 2. So 4-yard pass reception to Boyer. Will now bring up 3rd and 2. Delayed snap from Isabel nearly draws the offsides from the Wildcats. 3rd and 2 on the way with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's the snap. Isabel on the handoff, this time to Lee again. Middle gets stuffed. And looks like they're going to come up just short. Gain of 1 on the play will bring up 4th and 1.
Knowing they were going to run it this time, they set up in the cover 2 situation, knowing they weren't going to get it downfield. Defense did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they were right on it.
Second half offensively for Warren East has consisted of 5 plays. 4 of those have come from Jeremiah Lee. Here's a snap. Again, they're going to hand it off to Lee. No, QB keeper this time around for Isabel, who heads up the middle. That'll shift the chains for another blowout Cove first down for the Raiders. It's like a 3-yard gain for Isabel. It's his first rushing attempt of the night. Gets him about 3 yards on that play. 8 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Here's the snap again out of the shotgun. Isabel making the handoff. Another QB keeper for Isabel, who gets sent packing backwards. No gain and a potential loss. Looks like it'll be a gain of 1 just before that forward progress stop. Bring up 2nd and 9.
Had a whole pack of Wildcats on top of him right then, man. Yeah, they were all over him.
7:45 now to go in this third quarter. 2nd and 9 on the way for the Raiders, who trail the Wildcats 28-14. Isabel with Lee along his right side. 3 receivers off to the right. And that's where Isabel's going to favor. Fires away. That one incomplete. Comes up short. Intended, it looks like, for Braden Lightfoot.
The Raiders had a good opportunity right there. The defense was sitting with 1 safety in the back. Now, there were a lot of different things they could have done with that 1 safety. They could have brought a couple of 2 or 3 people down, used the tight end a little bit. But they had an opportunity right there.
Jeremiah Lee heads back to the sideline. 32, that's Chuchu Kofer, the freshman running back, checking in. He'll lined up now along the right hip of Xavier Isabel. So 2 young guns lined up behind the offensive line. Here's the snap. Isabel off to his left side. That one's caught by Boyer, who gets wrapped up quickly. Just shy of the first down, but a gain of 8 on the play will bring up 4th and 1. Boyer been seeing a lot of the receptions tonight. He's got 2, the only 2 passing plays completed in this second half so far by Warren East. His first, a gain of 4, and that time around a gain of 8. 4th and 1 on the way. Here's the snap. Handed off to Kofer, who's going to follow his offensive line through, and that'll shift the chains for another block. Cove first down for the Raiders.
Smart move by Kofer right there. That offensive line was shoving the defensive line, and he stayed right behind them. He could have bounced out to the outside. Now, he would have gotten tackled a little earlier, but he did the smart thing, stay behind that offensive line, which was pushing that defensive line.
Young freshman quarterback trusting his offensive line, gets another first down for the Raiders. They're going to fake the handoff here. QB keeper for Isabel, who's again wrapped up quickly by the Franklin-Simpson defense.
And that was Franklin on the tackle.
Jamarius Franklin, who was one of those tackle leaders at the half, and you can see why. He's quick to respond on those plays. Gain of 2 on that QB keeper from Isabel. We didn't see any QB keeper attempts in the first half for Isabel, and now we've seen several in this opening drive. Again, a handoff to the freshman running back of Kofor, who looks like he'll get another gain of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Gain of 2 will bring up 3rd and 6.
So 6 yards total this drive for Kofor, who now checks out of the game, back to the sideline. Jeremiah Lee checking back in, and he'll now line up on the left side as a receiver, now set into motion. Lines up on the right hip of Isabel. 2 receivers to the right side. Here's Isabel in motion, looking off to his right side, potentially looking deep, having to run back. He's under pressure right around midfield, lobs it over the top. It's hauled in by Lightfoot. Inside the 25, inside the 20, cuts back up the inside, now up to the middle. Lightfoot shakes another tackle. 3, 4, pushed into the end zone, touchdown. Braden Lightfoot, are you kidding me?
Wow, like you said, light on his feet.
What a play. Lightfoot made himself available in the best way possible. Take a look back at it, courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green. Isabel giving it everything he's got, finds Lightfoot in motion, who cuts his way off the sideline, back up the middle. And I lost count of how many tackles he broke, but he got an extra helping hand.
4.
With that shove from behind into the end zone. Back within a score are the Raiders off a huge play from Isabel and Lightfoot. PAT's up, but a flag's thrown just before the kick.
That was a tremendous play right there. The defense was spread out, and Isabel hits the defense when they're spread out like that.
Offsides on Franklin-Simpson, that flag was, so that'll maybe help them out just a little bit in going for this PAT. And actually, it looks like they're going to try to go for 2 here.
Why not?
Was about a 25-yard pass reception as they're going for 2 here with Lee, who takes a nice little stroll up the A-gap into the end zone for that completed 2-point conversion. Now the Raiders trail by 6. It's a 28-22 lead for the Wildcats with 5:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. What a way to respond if you're the Raiders.
That's exactly how you're supposed to respond.
Jeremiah Lee completes that 2-point conversion. You see him heading back to the sideline, congratulated by his fellow Raiders. The momentum has shifted. Now the biggest challenge for the Raiders, stepping up on the defense, coming up with a stop, and making sure your offense keeps the ball rolling.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was about to say. Now you're going to see if there's going to be a continued fight. Am I going to keep hitting you in your jaw? You can keep hitting me in my jaw? What's going to happen here? This is exciting because earlier at the half, some people were probably like, this is over. We got this in the bag. Nah, hold on a second.
The comeback is in the making. The Raiders are not shying away from a challenge, especially here on homecoming. It's a Wildcats lead of 28-22. And this one's scooped up around the 10. Hampton on the return. Back to the 25, back to the 30. Cuts to his right side. Manny's created a window. 1-on-4 before he's forced out at the Warren East 42-yard line. So Hampton with a solid return.
I thought he was going to break it that time.
Hampton with about a 55-yard return puts the Wildcats in good field position, already in Raiders territory to start this drive. So now Warren East just going to have to show up big. A legal block, though, in the back on the Wildcats will send them back into their own territory. That's a big penalty in what would have been otherwise a great start field position-wise.
Man, that would have been an absolutely great start. Now it's time for the Raiders, with as far back as they got them now, hold this right here. They can't play, you score, I score, you score, I score. They can't do that right now. They can only do that when they're in the lead.
Xavier Hampton, who has been such a phenomenal presence on all sides of the ball for Franklin-Simpson so far. 2 touchdowns scored tonight, and Man, what a big penalty. That illegal block in the back has affected them. They're all the way back at their own 22. Here's a snap from Delk, hands off to McPherson. Finds some space down the left side. Breaches for that first down marker. It looks like he got it. I think he may have come up just shy. He did. Gain a 9 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 1.
McPherson's been doing his thing out there, too. He's been scrambling all over the place.
Into the huddle goes Franklin-Simpson. They spend a lot of time here. Max Chaney off on the sideline, coaching them up. Everyone make sure they got the play call, and now wasting no time heading to that line of scrimmage. At center is Carter Grimes, and now Brady Delk lining up just behind him. Here's a snap. Off to the right side. It's McPherson again, now on a run. He's met face-to-face by Douglas, who brings him down in a hurry. First down, though, that time for the Wildcats. Another blowout code first down for them. Shifts the chains.
Douglas is, he's limping right now, but he's been making an impact here in the second half. He's been on almost every tackle. He's been around it if he hasn't been involved in one. He's holding that leg right now. I don't know if they're going to.
Looks like they will substitute him out, I think, if that's what 12 is heading onto the field for. He is. So out onto the field in place of Douglas is Brandon McCluskey. And we saw earlier on one of those kick returns as well that Douglas was maybe favoring one leg. Ball is fumbled by Hampton. I think he fell on top of it. It looks like Warren East may have scooped up the football. No, Hampton, I believe, ended up staying on top of it.
Ooh, we had a host of Raiders around there to scoop it up and grab it.
So the ball was fumbled and then recovered for a gain of 2. We'll take a look at it courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green. You see Hampton here get the handoff, and just as the ball comes out, it looks like potentially that Xavier Roberts for Warren East was going to be able to pull it in, but it'll be a gain of 3 after the recovered fumble makes it 2nd and 7. Next play on the way from Delk in the shotgun, who's going to hold on to it for a QB keeper up the right side. He's got space. Offensive line doing work. Past the first down marker into Warren East territory. That's another blowout code first down. 3:14 to go in this third quarter. It's a Wildcats lead of 28-22. And if you're the Raiders, Hamp, we've said it time and time again, all you need on this drive is a stop because right now their offense is rolling well.
Oh, yeah, the Wildcats offense is rolling right through this Raider defense, chunk by chunk, little by little, piece by piece. And that's the way you want to do it. You don't have to always get it in one big, large lump sum.
If you're listening over the radio waves, it's the Wildcats moving from left to right from our perspective. Warren East moving from right to left. Here's a snap from Delk. Looks like it's handed off again to Aiden Jones. First time we've said, second time only, we've said his name in this second half. And Wildcats are wearing their away white jerseys with their blue pants and blue helmets with those white letterings and blue numbers on the jerseys. Warren East wearing their home dark blues, their yellow pants, and those blue helmets with the yellow signature and yellow stripe through the middle. Personally, one of my favorite helmets that they wear all season. They've got a great equipment room going on. Both these teams do. Great cultures and great designs. 2nd and 9 now on the way for Franklin-Simpson. A little bit of a reverse sweep to Hampton, who wants some vengeance. He's knocked out around the 39-yard line, now at the 40.
Well, see, now I'm wondering if that was the exact play they were going for. Number 30, he slipped going across. So I don't know if it was supposed to be a reverse or a sweep or whatever.
3rd and 4.
Gain of 5 on that play for Hampton. Will bring up 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. Could be a crucial stop here for the Raiders if they can make it happen. 2:02 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats lead 28-22. They're not comfortable with that. They want an extended ball. It's fumbled. And it's picked up by McPherson. I think they're going to call this play dead and down. And then they're going to call it an incomplete. I thought it looked like he dropped the foot. That looked more like a fumble.
It's either a fumble or an intentional grounding or something, because who is he getting it to?
Our head referee, that's Adam Clark, who made that call right behind in the backfield. And we have a final score from Pulaski County as well. South Warren takes the win on the road, 35-0, a shutout against the 6A opponent. A strong shutout nonetheless from the Spartans, who continue to roll on in their undefeated first season in 6A.
There we go, leaving goose eggs already.
1:57 to go in the third quarter. McPherson in motion to the left side. And it'll be a timeout called by Franklin-Simpson. 4th and 4 is on the way here for Franklin-Simpson, and I'm not going to doubt that they'll go for it here, but what a huge stop this would be for Warren East if they can manage to stop this 3-back run game.
Hopefully, Warren East does not jump, because I have a feeling they're going to plan. They're going to plan for the attack of a jump. And if they don't jump, they might jump on into another play and keep it moving. But the Raiders, as we seen earlier in the year, they were ready to go. They were ready to jump off. Today, it seems a little different. So they might just hold on and make them punt. I'm pretty certain they might make them punt. But we shall see.
They're going to hold on to it here. This is the key moment, arguably one of the biggest downs we've had so far in this game, a key one of this second half. We told you about that South Warren-Pulaski final score. They win 35-0. Some other scores around the region. Halftime, Caverna Christian County 26-24. Caverna leads into the third quarter between Butler and Edmondson. Butler leads 10-0. Into the third quarter, Monroe leads 42-8 over Clinton County. In the middle of the fourth, it's Somerset over Metcalf 35-6. And at the end of the third quarter as well, we've been bringing up this Scotties score all night long. It's the Scotties of Glasgow that lead 27-6 over Hart County. Back to the action here at Warren East. It's going to be a pitch back to Hampton, who tries to break a tackle and breach to that first down marker. And they're going to do it. Shift the chains for another blowout coat first down for the Wildcats. Man, what a crucial stop that could have been for Warren East. They come up just short.
But great thing is, it's not over. That was a nice little play there by the Wildcats. They got the first down, which is exactly what they needed. Warren East needs to just stand up and hold the line.
Xavier Hampton is continuing to play a big role, especially in the second half. Last 3 plays offensively, positive ones for the Franklin-Simpson Wildcats have come from him, at least on this offensive drive. 1st and 10 on the way. Here's the handoff to McPherson. McPherson on the way, gets pushed out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. Even longer play, gain of 7. Bring up 2nd and 3. So McPherson now getting involved even more in this offense. We've seen Hampton and McPherson split the difference for a majority of the season. And now it just happens to be Hampton, at least in this game so far, who's doing a majority of the heavy lifting. Inside a minute to go now in this third quarter with the Wildcats leading 28-22. 2nd and 3 on the way. Delk lining up under center. Movement off to the left side. Here's the snap. Makes the handoff to Jones. It's going to be Delk on the QB keeper. Gets inside the 20, inside the 15. He's forced out of bounds at the 10. 38 seconds to go. Clock is stopped.
I got tricked there, Ryan.
I think I did too.
I thought they were going right up the hole.
About a 15-yard run there for Delk. That time around on the QB keeper. Clock's winding down now. 25 seconds to go in this third quarter. It's a 28-22 Wildcats lead here at Jim Ross Field. Wildcats are still talking it over. Clock's still winding down, and this may be the conclusion of the third quarter. I think it will be. The Wildcats will let this time run out and see if they can get some points on the board to start the fourth and extend it back to a 2-score game. But right now, it's only 6 points, the difference. Franklin-Simpson Wildcats lead the Warren East Raiders 28-22 with one more frame to decide it all. We'll step aside and be back for the conclusion of this one on the Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated. And from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
You don't just work here.
You show up and you grow.
And to serve your customers well.
We're not just selling cars, we're selling careers and relationships.
Some score updates for you around the region as we bring you back here to the Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week. Franklin-Simpson here at Warren East and leading 28-22 as they've now reached into the red zone and another chance to score. Some other scores after the third quarter between Barron and Grayson County. Barron leads 36-0, and that beloved final score for the Spartans as they take home the win on the road against Pulaski County, 35-0. Here's the snap for Franklin-Simpson as they run it in for yet another rushing touchdown.
For the touchdown for the Wildcats.
Again, we're going back and forth, back and forth. Now it's time for the Raiders to capitalize on that and say, you know what, it's our turn.
Jerrion Williams on the carry, finds his first trip to the end zone tonight for another Edmonton State Bank touchdown. It's just been a back-and-forth game all night long between the Wildcats and the Raiders. But it's been the Wildcats who have just had that one score difference, it feels like, all night long that's made the difference.
That one, and that's all it takes.
About a 12-yard run there.
Wildcats 35.
PAT is up and good, and now the Wildcats lead 35-22 to start this fourth quarter, but this game is not over yet. Can the Raiders offense keep up with the Wildcats? We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll find that out as we just begin this fourth and final quarter here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the Seven Mountains Sports Network.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
Welcome you back to the Smurf Turf here at Jim Ross Field on the campus of Warren East High School for your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week. It's a 35-22 score lead now after a 16-yard run for number 28 for the Wildcats. That's Jerrion Williams, who gets his first trip to the end zone tonight for an Edmonton State Bank touchdown. And now the Wildcats send this one back. It's Douglas for the Raiders, who picks it up at the 10, and here he goes on the return. Finding space down the right sideline, just tripped up around the 35 before he goes down.
With the return for the Raiders.
Raiders will now start this offensive drive and another chance to respond at the 40-yard line. Raiders taking over with a 1st and 10, 11:51 to go in this fourth and final quarter. And Hamp, we said it before we went to break, it's just been that one score difference that has kind of been the difference maker all night long for the Wildcats. 35-22 the current score, but man, how much closer it could be if Warren East maybe just slips those gaps a little bit different on a couple of plays.
Just a little bit on a couple of plays, and they would definitely be tied up right now.
The score doesn't tell the whole story, but Jeremiah Lee looking to maybe change that here as he gets past the chains into Wildcats territory, past the 40 before he's brought down. Another blowout first down for the Warren East Raiders.
See, they got the defense spread apart enough that they can run it and they can throw it.
Jeremiah Lee, again, has been kind of the lightning in a bottle and has been able to strike multiple times to open drives for Warren East. And now looks to do so again out of the shotgun. Here's the handoff again to Lee, who's trusted up the A-gap. Brought down by a swarm of Wildcats. Gain of 2 on that play for Lee that time around. Again, Lee seeing plenty of affecting time here in that first half. Did not see a whole lot of gains, even though he did have that passing touchdown. Most of his gains were through the air, and this half it's been on the ground. Over 80 yards so far in this second half alone. 11 minutes to go in this fourth and final quarter. It's the Wildcats who lead 35-22. Warren East driving downfield. 2nd and 8 on the way. Here's Isabel firing it off to his right side. He's got Boyer down around the 10. Overthrown, lands around the 5. Incomplete from Isabel to Boyer.
Again, this defense was spread out just enough. Had a guy going down the field for the Raiders, but two safeties. Again, move over. One helps the other cover it up, but he had them beat. He had them beat. He just had to keep running. Keep running. You got to keep running.
10:50 to go in this fourth and final quarter. Off that incomplete, it'll now be 3rd and 8 for Warren East. Here on homecoming as they try to mount a comeback. They've been successful so far in their offensive drives in this second half, and they'll look to keep that momentum going. Firing off to the right side. That one's caught by Lightfoot, and he jumps out of bounds around the 28-yard line. That'll shift the chains for another blowout Coe first down. 10-yard gain there for Lightfoot. Shifts the chains again with 10:44 to go in this final frame. Raiders wasting no time. Lee lined up on the right hip of Isabel. 2 receivers off to the left, 2 to the right. And a flag is thrown. Wildcats jump off sides.
They got him. Wildcats been trying to get him all night long, but they got him.
Offsides on Franklin, 5-yard penalty. Still
Unusual penalties starting to strike this Wildcats team in the second half. And if you're Warren East, it's advantages you want to start taking advantage of, and they're looking to do that here as they'll snap this one. 1st and 5 from the Wildcats' 21-yard line. Here's the snap. Isabel dropping back. He's got plenty of options. Throws it over the middle. Intended for Boyer. Had 2 receivers meet in the middle and overthrows both. It lands in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 5.
Franklin-Simpson had that man-to-man coverage going, but they had 2 guys. The Raiders had 2 guys cut straight through the middle there. I think they got confused on who was supposed to catch it because both of them, I think, tried to catch it.
Gideon Robbins was the other receiver other than Boyer, who met in the middle. This time a handoff to Lee, who finds a shot up the A-gap. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown again. Jeremiah Lee back on the board.
Back and forth, back and forth, back, 4th and 4th. These 2 teams are going at it right now. The defenses are doing their best to hold it together, but these run games are serious.
Jeremiah Lee has continued to be the biggest playmaker so far tonight, both in the air and on the ground. This huge run, 22 yards to the house for Jeremiah Lee, gets the Raiders back within a score. PAT on the way for Warren East. That one's up between the uprights, and it is good. 29-35. The Raiders now trail 6 points, Hamp. The difference. That 2-point conversion they got earlier couldn't make the difference, and also, point out, was also courtesy of Jeremiah Lee.
It sure was. He's all over the field doing everything tonight. This is the way the Raiders needed to respond, that offense. Now the defense get a stop right here. They could very well turn the tide all the way around. You know what I mean? And I say turn the tide as we're looking at this water of a field right here. The Raiders have a chance, but the Wildcats are not going to slow down, and they are not going to stop to let them come back just because it's homecoming.
Another trip to the bank, another Edmonton State Bank touchdown for Jeremiah Lee. It was a 22-yard run for the house that time around, and now with 10.5 minutes to go, the Raiders are back within a score. It's going to be up to their defense to get a stop and for their offense to keep the ball rolling. The Raiders will return it here with 10.5 minutes to go. Potentially, we've seen them try to go for an onside kick here. We'll see if they try to do the same. That play is going to be called dead.
Ball fell off the
Ball
tee.
It fell off the tee there for this kick return. Kick on the way. That one's going to land around the 15. And on the way back is Hampton. How does Hampton respond? No, slips up and around the 32-yard line. All on his own. And it'll now be 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Yeah, he was ready to make that. He was ready to make that pivot and turn, and slid on that turf, man. I'm telling you, I think it's kind of slick out there still.
Now, we've talked about Jeremiah Lee and the difference he's made offensively for this team. If you want to know just how much Jeremiah Lee is running this offense in the second half, all season long, the Wildcats have only allowed 65 rushing yards per game average. In just the first 2 plays of this second half, Jeremiah Lee bested that average. He had 75 yards.
That's insane.
Jeremiah Lee continuing to run through this Franklin-Simpson defense, and he'll look to do that if the Raiders can come away with a stop. Looks like a gain of 4 on that play will bring up 2nd and 6. Hampton on the carry. 2nd and 6 on the way with now 10 minutes to go in this 4th and final quarter. Warren East, the one thing they desperately need is going to be a stop here so they can let their offense do the thing.
And they got to do it now. This is the moment right here. You don't want to wait until there's 5 minutes left on the clock. You got to do it right now.
Franklin-Simpson quick out of the huddle again.
Ooh, they're loading the box.
Delk lining up under center, stacking the box. This one pitched off to McPherson. McPherson diving, brought down quickly. Short gain of 2 on the play. That'll make it 2nd and 4, or 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Pennington was right there ready for it. He was definitely going in. He timed it just perfect, too.
3rd and 4 on the way after that 2-yard gain from McPherson. He was tripped up quickly by Richard Pennington, the sophomore linebacker.
He was able to judge that count just right. I watched him cut across and shoot the gap just as soon as he said hi.
Here's Delk under center. There's the snap. This one's pitch off to Hampton. He's got space down the right side. He's got the first down and then some to the 40 before he's forced out of bounds. Now inside 9 minutes to go and the chains have been moved. It's another blowout coat first down for the Wildcats, who just continue to pad on and take away time from the Raiders.
Man, as long as they keep running this ball, they're not going to throw it. If they do, there's something to it, but I don't think they're going to throw it. They're going to keep trying to run this clock down, and that defense is going to keep trying to stack it up. I see them. They're watching for it.
Offensively, it's been a battle of 2 running backs. Xavier Hampton for the Wildcats, Jeremiah Lee for the Raiders. It's going to be another handoff to Hampton up the middle. It's like a gain of 2 on the play. Will bring up 2nd and 8. Again, Hampton on the carry. That one's tackled by Thomas. Actually, a gain of 3 on that play for Hampton. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Into Warren East territory now are the Wildcats. They'll snap this 2nd down from the Raiders' 38-yard line. 8:30 to go in this 4th and final frame. Delk under center. Pearson in motion. He's going to get the handoff. Brought down quickly by that Raiders defense.
The Raiders defense they are picking up everything that the Wildcats are doing right now. They're picking it up pretty well. Everybody's reading everything right. If they hold on, we just don't know what could happen.
Looks like it'll be a gain of 1 on that play. Bring up 3rd and 6. This could be the most crucial down of this game for the Raiders if they could come away with a stop. The best position they've been in defensively on a 3rd down in this 2nd half. This is what it's all going to take for all the marbles. Will the Wildcats convert? No! Jumping off sides are the Warren East Raiders.
They caught a false start.
No! It is. False start on the Wildcats. Well, it looked like it could have been a jump by the Raiders. Boy, that was close on both ends.
It was. This is an opportunity for the Raiders right here. This might be the momentum shifter that they needed right here.
Now an even bigger difference maker. It'll now be 3rd and 10 after the penalty with 7.5 minutes to go in the 4th and final quarter for all the marbles. A 3rd down stop is what you need if you're the Raiders. Here's the snap. Delk on the handoff. Ends up in the hands of Hampton on the run. Breaks his way. Finds his way to the 10. Still wrestling his way to the 9 before he's brought down.
Wow.
Xavier Hampton, my goodness, he cannot be stopped.
That run right there was absolutely amazing. Run right up the gap. Hits a couple of players. They can't knock him down. He twists, turns, almost slips, falls, and he still breaks out of the tackle and moves on another 3-4 yards, man.
Battle of the running backs, and Hampton continues to show up in the big moments on a big 3rd and 10. He converts and then some. They're well inside the red zone. It'll be 1st and goal from the 8. 6:45 to go, and Franklin-Simpson knows the game plan. Run the clock, get the plays off. It's a fresh set of downs. Just shy of the red zone, or just inside the red zone. That one brought down quickly. Warren East defense showing up big at the 8-yard line.
Good job, big fella. Pennington.
Blake McPherson on the carry. It'll be a loss of 4. So a loss of 4 for McPherson on that play. We'll bring up 2nd and 12 now for Franklin-Simpson. Again, this is a one-score game. It's the Wildcats that lead 35-29 with 6 minutes to go in the final quarter as the clock winds down.
No matter what they're calling on defense, it seems like both teams just can't stop that run that well.
Warren East, will the defense show up? Can they answer the call? Delk under center. Here's the snap, the pitch off. Again, this time to McPherson, running down the left side. Makes his way back, it looks like, to the 6 before he's forced out of bounds. Gain of 6 on that play for McPherson. He was brought down for a loss of 4. And it looks like a Warren East player is down. Injury timeout here with a Warren East player down around the 12. 5:49 to go in this fourth and final quarter. It's the Wildcats that lead 35-29. It'll be 3rd and 6 on the way when we get back to game. And what a performance of this second half it's been for Xavier Hampton and the Wildcats. 8 plays, all on the ground for Hampton. And it would take me far too long to add up just how many rushing yards he's had so far. But you can also add a touchdown in there as well, and he may add himself another one.
He's been moving down the field very well. Like I said, both defenses have been doing well, but it's just those one holes that just open up, part like the Red Sea, and everybody comes through it and goes home. And it's happened on both sides. The difference on the passing game, though, is the wide receivers over, or the passing game over on the Warren East side, they're catching those pockets when the Wildcats go to zone or they're spread out. They always catch them in a pocket. I would, if it was me, that's what I would be hitting. Those have been the golden points, along with Lee doing what he's been doing on the ground. So you just kind of balance that out.
Still in an injury timeout, as help to his feet is number 16 for Warren East. That's Weston Akins, the junior, who is able to get up on his feet, a little shaken up, and looks like he's made his way back to the sideline. Some other scores from around the region. Plenty of finals coming in now from around South Central Kentucky. Final score between Somerset and Metcalf. It's Somerset that wins that one 42-6 over the Hornets. A final between Monroe and Clinton. Falcons win 42-14 over the Bulldogs. Final from across town. Greenwood wins 30-6 over the Warren Central Dragons. And a final from Barron County. Barron County, dominant performance against Grayson County, 43-0. They take the win down in Trojan country, but we're here at Warren East where Wildcats lead 35-29. Back to the action here from the 6. Here's Delk on the QB keeper, running off to his right side. On toe is Lightfoot, but he's pushed out of bounds around the 2-yard line. And if I'm not mistaken, that will bring up 4th and goal at the 2.
Hey, they tried to trick him with it. He acted like he was going to throw the ball. He pump faked it. Almost got him off the toes, but they stayed right on it, which is what the Raiders did perfectly.
5:25 to go and the clock winding down in this fourth and final quarter. It's going to be 4th and 1. Wildcats with a chance to make it 2 scores yet again. They lead 35-29. What more do you need in this situation if you're the Wildcats? But what a stop it could be right here on the goal line for the Raiders. They could lead a charge. Quick out of the huddle. Here's Delk under center. Handoff. Try to punch it. Did the Raiders get the stop?
They stopped him.
At the goal line. No. Touchdown.
Wow.
Franklin-Simpson. Wildcats with another Edmonton State Bank touchdown. Inside 5 minutes to go. They punch it back to 2 scores.
Wow. That was a tremendous effort.
We take a look back at it here, courtesy of Toyota of Bowling Green. Hard to tell in the scuffle who comes away with it. And it was Aiden Jones. Aiden Jones with a trip to the end zone, his 2nd of the afternoon. 1-yard rushing touchdown for Jones. His other one also came from the 1-yard line, and that PAT is up and good. It's 42-29 the lead for the Wildcats, and the Raiders inside 5 minutes to go. That light at the end of the tunnel is starting to get just a little bit dimmer.
Unfortunately for the Raiders, it is, but for the Wildcats, it's actually it's looking a lot brighter for them. They pushed it, like you said, pushed it up to 2 touchdowns, and the Raiders defense, they tried. Like, I thought they made the stop, but they just can't. I don't know why they can't bring them down, but these guys, they are moving those legs. I love that the coaches have trained and have taught the excuse me, that excuse me, but they train these guys to keep moving their feet, keep moving their feet, keep moving their feet. That move there is as old as time when it comes to sports. Keep moving your feet. And these guys are doing it, and they're spinning, and they're cutting, and they're just doing so many things to get out of these tackles.
4:58 to go when we get back to play. It'll be McAllister who kicks this ball back to the Raiders. Back to receive will be Douglas, as it has been for a majority of this game. He's had pretty much all of the kick returns tonight, and Braden Lightfoot back there as well, set to receive. Here's the kick. It'll be Douglas back in the far right corner who grabs it about the 12, and here he goes on the return. One Wildcat slips up the middle. Goes Douglas, and he's brought down around the 32-yard line. Still down. He looks potentially a little hurt here. I think he's still down on the field. It's like an injury timeout again here for Douglas, who is down on the field. Looks like it's going to be a cramp, as one of the Warren East coaching staff is there helping him, lifting up that left leg. He looks to be having some pain in that one.
That's
right around
the
31.
Second time.
Time.
When he came off the first time, that was exactly what was wrong the first time. I seen him over here stretching it.
Get him a banana.
Yeah,
Get
that's
him a
all
banana or something, or some potassium.
Yeah, get him some Pedialyte.
There you go. See, that was my problem. Is I didn't have enough. I didn't have potassium enough. So when I was playing soccer, Charlie horses out the wazoo.
No,
not fun. Get shin splints too. Oh. Shin splints was the worst.
Oh.
Plus, you can imagine on turf as well, you add a little bit more strain to the ankles, the calves.
Gosh.
I mean, that's a whole discussion as well. It makes it a little more difficult. Douglas up to his feet, but he is hopping.
Oh.
He is favoring that right leg. He is not letting that left foot touch the ground and is hobbling.
Hey, he feels it back there. He feels it back there behind that thigh.
Out to help him was Blaine Murray, who helps him get back to the sideline, and still that left leg is cramping him.
But you've had those cramps before where it would go away just a little bit.
And then as soon as you think it's over, it comes back to get you.
Punches you real hard.
It's like a snake in the bushes. It's like you just had no idea it was going to be there. 4:53 to go in this fourth and final quarter. Handoff to Jeremiah Lee, who again is on a big breakaway run. Heads up the middle into Wildcats territory to the 40, before he's brought down at the 35.
They hit those holes and they go.
Shift them, change Jeremiah Lee again on an opening play of a drive, showing up where it matters most. 30 yards to run for Lee, over 30 this time. Another handoff to Lee. He'll punch his way up the middle again. It's like it'll be a gain of 3 on that play, bring up second down. So Jeremiah Lee, what more could you ask from him in this performance and what's been a shootout of running backs between Hampton of Franklin-Simpson and Jeremiah Lee of Warren East. 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. On the snap, here's Isabel looking over to his right side. Lets that one fire. It's caught by Boyer. Goes out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. That'll stop the clock with 3:51 to go in the fourth quarter.
That play right there that they keep doing has been working all game. All game.
10-yard pass completion to Boyer. Shifts the chains. Another blowout coat first down for Warren East as they're going to snap this one just outside the red zone. And flag is thrown. They get the offsides.
The Cats have been trying to get the Raiders to jump all game. They got them a couple times, and now they've returned the favor.
16 first downs for the Raiders.
Wow.
This will shift it forward to make it possible for them to get their 17th with 1st and 5. They'll snap it from the 19. Isabel, 3 receivers off to the left side in the diamond. Here's the snap. This time to Lee. Finds a hole in the A-gap. Running all the way to the end zone. Jeremiah Lee in clutch time. Back for another Edmonton State Bank touchdown.
That was the perfect play call because that defense was spread so far apart expecting a pass. And he just made that look easy.
3 touchdowns in the second half for Jeremiah Lee. And here's the third. A beautiful replay look courtesy of Toyota Bowling Green. Look at this follow from our camera guy, Ian Lewis, on the sideline.
We got the baddest cameraman in the game.
Baddest cameraman in the game, and Jeremiah Lee, the baddest running back of this second half. PAT is up on the way. It's between the uprights. It's good. 42-36 now. The Wildcats lead with 3:46 to go. You need a stop. You need a turnover. You need something big from the Raiders defense.
Right now. I mean, whether it's hold them up and strip, me and my guys, we'd be talking already. We would already be talking about what we're going to do next, and that is somebody connect, somebody grab him from the bottom, somebody grab him in the middle, hold him up, somebody come and try to grab that ball or punch that ball out. Do everything you can to get that ball.
Again, well, you saw that great look on the replay of the touchdown. That was from our field cam. That's Ian Lewis running that camera up top. The game cam is Megan Geisler bringing you the full field shots. Board ops for tonight back at the station. Jennifer Allen, Dalton Lawson making sure we get on the air tonight. Ryan Murphy here with you. Big Hamp alongside. Matthew Clark, our director, producer, making sure that you guys get all these fun replays. You're getting all the updates. You're seeing the graphics, all those fun things. Making sure we get on the air tonight for what has been an exciting game here tonight on the Smurf turf that always seems to provide. 3:46 to go in this fourth quarter. It's a one-score ball game. The Wildcats lead 42-36. What do the Raiders defense got? Will they show up here when they need to most? To kick it back for the Raiders. They're going for the onside. Nearly scooped up. That one swatted away. Wildcats pick it up around the 35. They just can't come down with it. Looked like it was number 20 for Franklin-Simpson who picks it up. That was Caden Bennett again.
Got a little chatter going on over there.
And a flag is thrown. Looks like they're pointing towards the Wildcats. And this could be a penalty against them.
Yeah, there was a lot of jawing going on when they ended up over on the Wildcat side of the field. And players on the Wildcat side were talking to the Raiders, and the Raiders were talking back. So there's a lot going back and forth there.
Still a lot of talk going on between some officials and Wildcats. It will be an unsportsmanlike against the Wildcats. I thought I saw a motion potentially towards Blake McPherson. So unfortunate penalty there for the Wildcats. But that could be the difference maker, especially for the Sworn East defense.
Could be, and Blake does not need to get in any trouble and get put out of the game at this point in time. He's been doing well, and starting to talk now is just not it. They're winning. All they got to do is hold on.
Clock is currently stalled. It's 3:41 to go in this fourth and final quarter. It's Warren East that needs to show up big and give their offense a chance in what would be more than likely the closing minute of this game to try to charge downfield, but they've only needed a couple plays in all 4 touchdowns that they've scored in this second half. See how quick they are out of the gun. They're going to start this one from right at the midfield line. 1st and 10 on the way for the Wildcats. Here's a snap. This one pitched off to McPherson down the right side. Dives for that first down. I think he got it. If not, he'll be just short.
Just short, yeah.
Just shy. I'll bring up 2nd and 1. 9-yard gain there for the Wildcats, courtesy of Blake McPherson. 3:20 to go in this fourth quarter. And the Wildcats now will just look to run this clock down and put it away.
This is where the leaders of the defense say we have to make a stop now. They have to get those guys ready now.
Raiders want a turnover. Will they force it? Or will the Wildcats slip up here? 2nd and 1 on the way. Delk lining up under center for the Wildcats. Here's the snap. Pushing it up the middle. Looking like the tush push. Past that marker for another blowout coat first down.
10 with the keeper.
It'll be Brady Delk on the QB keeper with a 2-yard gain. Another first down for the Wildcats. 2:45 to go with the clock winding down. It's a 42-36 lead for Franklin-Simpson. They'll continue to run down this clock. And we've talked about this Warren East defense and what they've been able to do. The fumbles that they would hope to force here to try to give their offense a chance back out on the field And it's not been long since you saw that. Just last week against Callaway County, the Raiders had 3 forced fumbles against them on the road. Now here at home, can they maybe get a hand in at the right time with 2:10 to go here in the 4th and final quarter? Hand off to McPherson, running up the right side. Raiders swarm him, bring him down around the 32. It's like a gain of 8 on the play. One player still down on the field. It's McPherson, who's helped back to his feet. It'll be a timeout for the Raiders with 2 minutes to go in this 4th and final quarter as they trail by 6.
This is not the time for the Raiders to slow down, lay down, because McPherson, he's running like it's the beginning of the game. You know, he's running like the beginning of the game. Hampton running like the beginning of the game. Lee running like the beginning of the game. Everybody's still playing like it's the beginning of the game. So you have to continue. The defenses have to continue to play like it's the beginning of the game, because right now we have 2 minutes left. They have to make a stop now.
In this timeout period, we take a look at some other scores around the region. About 6 minutes to go between Caverna and Christian County. They're all tied up at 32 apiece. Got a final score from Morgantown. It was Butler County who led at the half 10-0. Edmonson County, 13-point comeback, 13 straight in the second half. They take the win over the Bears, 13-10. And a final between LaRue and Adair. It's LaRue County who takes the win over Adair County, 25-20. And again, a final score from the Scotties. Glasgow wins 35-6 over Hart County. 2 minutes to go here on the Smurf turf. It's the Wildcats who lead 42-36. They're looking to put this one to bed. 2nd and 4 on the way. Brady Delk pitching it off again to McPherson. Gets past the first down marker inside the 30. That'll shift the chains. Another blowout first down and 1:55 left on the clock. Clock is winding down here. Franklin-Simpson looking to claim their 4th win of the season. They had a loss last week on the road against Paducah Tillman. And now they're playing spoiler once again on the road here at Warren East for their homecoming. After this week, the Wildcats will look forward to a 3-game homestand starting with Callaway County next Friday night. But now with the last minute 20 of regulation, Wildcats looking to put it away. Running it up the middle. Aiden Jones on the keeper. Gets to the 25-yard line. Just past to the 19. It'll be a gain of 6 by Jones. .114 to go. Another timeout called by the Raiders. They're looking to put this one to bed.
I don't know if there's much they could do anymore at this point.
All the Wildcats need to do is hold on to the football in this last minute 14. It's 2nd and 6 here. So a little longer than they'd like on a second down, but their run game has continued to show up in moments like this one, especially 24, Xavier Hampton, who has had such a huge night on the ground. And actually, Hamp, at least as far as I can tell from these offensive stats, the Wildcats have not thrown the ball once the entirety of the second half.
No, not at all.
2 pass plays in the first half, none in the second.
Quarterback for what? During this game, it's all run. Man, well, I mean, you use what works. And if it works, you got to go with it.
3-back system, and you got Brady Delk, who, again, at quarterback can scramble on his own as well. And in this final minute 14, they're going to hope to put it away. Delk under center.
Taking the knee.
Minute 10 here. They're going to hand it off to Jones again, who forces his way up the middle with some pushes from his line. That'll get him once again past the marker. Another blowout first down for Franklin-Simpson as they breach the red zone with 1 minute and 7 seconds to go.
Yeah, this right here should end. They should take a knee at about this point.
Timeout again, Warren East. They take their final timeout of the second half.
Yeah, they could take a knee the rest of the night and call it a game. Really good game. Better than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. Somebody came in earlier and was like, what? It's going to be a blowout. But it was not a blowout. It was absolutely a great game, especially in the second half. Second half, it just went nuts.
And that's something you could probably have guessed, at least if you look. We talked about in the pregame show, Hamp, how Warren East, they started those first 2 weeks in a scoring slump compared to how they have been. So combined 13 points through their first 2 weeks of play. But then these last 3 weeks, if you count today, I'm going to try to do my math right here, 140 plus points over the last 4 weeks for the Raiders. Their offense continued to step up on every drive. It was just the defense. All they needed was one stop.
That's it.
One stop was all they needed, and it looks like they'll come up just short tonight. 1st and 10 with 1:04 left.
They're in the victory formation.
Franklin-Simpson enters the victory formation. The handoff to Brady Delk as he kneels it out, the first down, and will continue to run down the clock. Clock is winding down. The Franklin-Simpson section of the grandstands on the opposite side of the field beginning their cheers, and the team heading over to midfield in what should be a final score of 42-36 here between the Wildcats and the Raiders. The Wildcats taking home their 4th win of the season as they will carry on to what will be a 3-game homestand starting next week at Callaway County. Franklin County knees it out, and that will decide the ball game. 20 seconds winding down. Both teams to midfield. Your final score from the Smurf Turf. It's Franklin-Simpson who plays homecoming spoiler with the win, 42-36 on the road, and what better momentum to carry into a 3-game homestand back in Franklin, Kentucky. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have your post-game show right here on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountains Sports Network.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait. The dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
I want to buy this truck, man. This is perfect.
It is a beautiful truck. Do you want to see the inside?
Is it available?
Yeah, sure is.
Is it available?
I just said it was.
Hey, how many miles has it got on it?
Just over 30,000 miles. Still practically new.
But it's got rain on it.
What? Do you want to see the inside? Do you have any questions?
No. I have to think about it. Also, it has rain on it.
Selling your car shouldn't be a pain. Bring your vehicle out to Toyota Bowling Green and we'll make sure you get taken care of.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated, and from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait, the dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
Welcome you back here to the Smurf Turf on Jim Ross Field, and it's the Wildcats who play spoiler on homecoming, 42-36, your final score. And what big stats we have to look at here tonight from both of these teams. We're still working on adding up these totals here because we've got so many numbers. Both these teams had big offensive performances tonight. 357 total rushing yards on the night for the Wildcats. That was a big performance for them, arguably one of their biggest for the season on the ground as well, and 369 total yards. They only had 2 pass completions, 2 pass attempts as well on the night, and that was added up to 12 total yards through the air, 369 total, as well as a final full score of 42 points scored for the Wildcats. And then for the Raiders, their bright spot was the offense. Jeremiah Lee was one who showed up in so many big moments, and they continued to score big. 360 total yards of offense for the Raiders tonight. We'll work on trying to get those digits split up here in terms of the run game, but Jeremiah Lee was one who showed up in such a big way, especially in the second half. He opened the second half for the Raiders in just 2 plays, found himself back inside the end zone, opened it up with a 10-yard run to shift the chains, and then 62 yards all the way to the house for a touchdown. That was Jeremiah Lee opening up the second half for the Raiders to get them back within a score, but it was just that one score buffer that they couldn't seem to shake in this 42-36 final score for the Wildcats in their win. Both teams will head off and hopefully look to continue in their success for the rest of the season. Warren East falls to 1-5. Franklin-Simpson improves to 4-2 on the season. Warren East luckily gets to stay home for the next couple of weeks. They'll host Allen County Scottsville next Friday night, and then 2 weeks after that they'll host one of the top teams in 4A in Paducah Tillman. And then Franklin-Simpson, we mentioned it already, they've got a very good homestand coming up for them. They'll start that with Callaway County next week. 2 weeks after that, on October 17th, they'll have Logan County, and then they'll round out their home slate of their schedule on October 24th, hosting Allen County Scottsville. And then I love that last matchup for them on the road. We talked about them all night, giving the score updates. Thursday, October 30th, the night before Halloween. It's going to be a spooky one between the Scotties and the Wildcats. That one will be fun. Head coach Jackson Arnett versus head coach Max Cheney, both with phenomenal run game plans. That'll be one that you're going to want to watch. And with that one on the road to round out the Wildcats' regular season. Those are your schedules to look forward to for the rest of the year for both of these teams, as well for Warren East after they wrap up their home stand against Paducah Tillman. They'll then have one more road game against Logan County and then wrap up their regular season right here at home again against North Hardin. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll look at some more stats, potentially some highlights, and look forward to what we have planned for the rest of our broadcast schedule here this season on your Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week on the 7 Mountain Sports Network.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
When you bundle home and auto, life can be easier. You choose coverage that makes sense for you, at a price that's right for you, and a local State Farm agent who's there for you.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
This isn't just bubbles, it's balance. Relax sore muscles, refresh your mind, recharge your spirit. Discover the best hot tub brands like Cal Spa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. More than bubbles, it's balance. The emails can wait. The dishes can wait. Life feels better when you press pause. Find your escape with the top hot tub brands like CalSpa, Hot Springs, and Free Flow. Available locally at Aqualand on Campbell Lane. Your backyard getaway awaits.
I want to buy this truck, man. This is perfect.
It is a beautiful truck. Do you want to see the inside?
Is it available?
Yeah, sure is.
Is it available?
I just said it was.
Hey, how many miles has it got on it?
Just over 30,000 miles. Still practically new.
But it's got rain on it.
What? Do you want to see the inside? Do you have any questions?
No. I have to think about it. Also, it has rain on it.
Selling your car shouldn't be a pain. Bring your vehicle out to Toyota Bowling Green and we'll make sure you get taken care of.
With State Farm Home Insurance, you can get the help you need from a local agent if things get complicated, and from our easy-to-use app whenever you need it.
Call State Farm agent Will Coker in Bowling Green today.
At Morgantown Bank and Trust, a home equity line of credit offers you flexible access to the value in your home. With 5.99% introductory interest rate for the first 6 months, all the cash you need is right under your roof. Call today.
Your perfect vehicle is waiting at Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green. Choose from the rugged Kia Sportage, the spacious Telluride, the electrifying EV6, and more. All with Don Franklin's 10-year unlimited mile powertrain coverage. With a large inventory of new Kia models and a team of caring automotive professionals dedicated to you, Don Franklin Kia in Bowling Green is here to service all of your Kia needs. Hurry in today to Don Franklin Kia, driven by family.
Welcome you back here to the Smurf Turf at Jim Ross Field on the campus of Warren East. High School Band has just erupted in their post-game performance, putting on us a great show here as we wrap up our post-game coverage. It's a 42-36 your final score. The Wildcats take the win, their 4th win of the season. They improved to 4-2. Raiders fall to 1-5 on the season, and district play opens up in strong fashion for the Wildcats here tonight on the Smurf Turf. We take a look at some couples of offensive stats there before we went to break. Hamp, how did the defense look for both of these teams, and who were some players that stood out?
On defense, man, there were multiple people who had at least 9 or 10 tackles or more, and both teams, like I said, all game, have done phenomenal. Just had to do, this or that. But those that had those tackles like that, Blake on Franklin-Simpson, you had Blake McPherson, Brady Dell, Xavier Hampton, Skylar Rickman, Kason Hemshoot, Caden Bennett, and Jamarius Franklin. Over on the Warren East side, you had Zach Kofer, Sam Tunks, Clay Pennington, Azarius Douglas. You had those guys right there had multiple tackles. I mean, altogether they probably had anywhere between 50 tackles altogether.
So big defensive performances on both sides for both these teams. It almost looked like a shootout. I think this is what you and I both kind of prepared for, Hamp, when we were coming into this game tonight, and Warren East put up a valiant effort. It was some great highlights here, but before we get to those, and we have to look at them here, we have to crown tonight's player of the game. And honestly, there was no doubt it was a running back shootout for both of these teams, and it ended up being Franklin-Simpson who comes out on top. And for that, tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Warren RECC and NCTC, is Franklin-Simpson Xavier Hampton. 12 rush attempts on the night, 153 yards, and 2 trips to the end zone for 2 Edmonton State Bank touchdowns. You're seeing the highlights there on your screen. Would not be stopped. No matter how many folks tried to tackle him, he just would not be taken down. Great shots from the sideline there, courtesy of our own Ian Lewis, bringing you the great shots there. Again, Xavier Hampton is our player of the game. For your high-speed internet needs, choose NCTC, powered by Warren RECC. It's fast, reliable service with a hometown touch. We appreciate them for sponsoring our player of the game. And congratulations, Xavier Hampton. You're our player of the game with that 153 rushing yard performance and 2 touchdowns. Some final scores from around the region as we get prepared to jump off the airwaves. Final from Morgantown. Again, we mentioned this before we went to break. Butler County falls to Edmonson County at home, 13-10 the final score there. Edmonson County with a strong rally win there. Final score between Caverna and Christian County. Christian County takes the win 40-32. South Warren took the win on the road a little bit earlier, 35-0 over Pulaski. Glasgow in a final score takes the win over Hart County 35-6 at home. Barron shuts out Grayson County 43-0. Final score from just across town. Greenwood tops Warren Central 30-6. Final score between Monroe and Clinton 42. The Falcons over the Bulldogs, and a final between Somerset and Metcalfe County. Somerset wins 42-6. Those are some final scores around the region, and of course here at Warren East High School, where the Wildcats start district play with a 42-36 win over the home Warren East Raiders. They play spoiler here on Homecoming. We can look forward to a busy week next week. 2-game slate leading us off Thursday night on October 2nd. Greenwood Gators and the Barron County Trojans kick off at 7 p.m. We will be live around 6:30, 6:40, somewhere in there. We may have some pregame interviews for you as well. Make sure to look forward to that one going up next week. And then after that one, we've got, again, 2-game slate. Hamp, you'll be with us for the first. Unfortunately, not for the second. Second game will be, again, right back here on the Smurf Turf. Warren East hosts the Allen County Scottsville Patriots as they continue into 4A district play. And will the Raiders be able to jump back into that win column against the Allen County Scottsville Patriots? We'll have to wait and see. Ryan Dearbone going to be joining me on the color, filling in for you, Hamp. I know he's your guy, man.
Yeah,
and
that's my guy.
I said this to you earlier when we were in break, but he's my professor, so it feels a little bit weird at Western Kentucky. It feels a little weird to be calling a game. It's like he determines if I graduate or not. You know, I feel like maybe I can't mess around with him as much as we mess around, but you never know. Final score here, 42-36. Wildcats take the win. They improve to 4-2. Raiders fall to 1-5. We appreciate you all for tuning in. Huge thank you to our crew who makes it possible to get out here to the games every week. I'm Ryan Murphy, Big Hamp alongside Matthew Clark, our producer, director, Ian Lewis, bringing you all the awesome game shots. Megan Geisler was up on the roof on our game cam, making sure you saw all the actions tonight. And, of course, to our board ops back at the station, Jennifer Allen, Dalton Lawson, getting us on the air tonight. Whether you tuned in via YouTube, Facebook, the Point Rocks app, the website, or over the airwaves at 98.3, 102.7, or 105.3, we appreciate you, wherever you may be, for tuning in with us right here at the Smurf Turf for our Don Franklin Bowling Green Kia Game of the Week. And don't forget, we got a 2-game slate next week, and we look forward to having you back then. As we wrap up our coverage, I'm Ryan Murphy for Big Hamp and all of our crew here at the Seven Mountain Sports Network. We thank you for listening along with us, and we'll see you for 2 games next week, starting Thursday night between Greenwood and Barron County. Good night, everybody.